CableNet Sports presents from Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton, the first ever 1991 GHAC Bowl. It's the Assumption Crusaders versus the Glendale Bears. Hello everyone, Steve Foxcroft here along with Clint O'Neill from chilly Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. And Clint, it's the first ever, the GHAC Bowl. A team from Burlington and a team from Hamilton. Should be a dandy.
Well, Steve, if you told me that we'd still be playing football and still commentating football in the third week of November, I tell you, you're pulling my leg. But Assumption Crusaders are representing the Burlington side of the GHAC format, as well as Glendale for Hamilton. Two outstanding teams, two teams that got here by different directions. Assumption expected to really cruise through Halton, perhaps win the Halton Championship, get a challenge perhaps, and they've really performed as they have all season. They remember they're repeating Halton champions, but the Glendale Bears, they took a different course getting here.
Oh, they sure did. First of all, let's welcome the Hamilton viewers on today's telecast, tuned in on Cable 14. But how about the history of in 1991 and runners-up in 68, 70, 87, and 88. This year's squad, though, very strong at the quarterbacking position. Tyler Clark, a real dominant force at quarterback, very quick. The thing with Glendale this year, talking to Coach Turek before the game, he says they can put you away early. They come out fired up. They have the ability to put teams away early. But on the other hand, if they get down early, they can themselves fall asleep and be put away. So Glendale, one of the biggest teams in all of Canada. And this year, you heard a lot of talk from Hamilton about the Barton Barons. Well, the Glendale Bears took care of the Barton Barons, and they're here. That's one of the main reasons why they're here. They then went on to face the Catholic champion Cardinal Newman Cardinals, and they eliminated them by defeating them very handily not too long ago right here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. One thing for the Bears, though, is, Clint, I don't know how many night games that they have played. Most of the Hamilton schedule occurs during the day, but Coach Turek says, nonetheless, we're a big team. We're excited just to be here.
Well, as far as the Assumption Crusaders, we can tell you for the first time, this is their first game in the nighttime. Obviously, their second trip in 2 weeks to Ivor Wynne Stadium. They will be prepared as far as the Assumption Crusaders go. Very much like the Glendale Bears. A very talented quarterback, an all-star J.J. Hope. Does it all. The guy can drop back, pass, throw the ball 30, 40, 50 yards down the field, complete the passes, obviously. He can also sprint out, pick up yardage running, and also to complement him and his running and his passing, three fabulous backs in Joe Maher, Derek Fawcett, and Ron Daaman.
I'll tell you, we're almost ready to go here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. The public address announcer at Ivor Wynne tonight is Dave Foxcroft. Let's try and join in with Dave now for the starting lineups from both teams.
Yeah, we'll go in after this. Gotta wait.
Well, Dave has a little bit of troubles down there, but again, a reminder, it's the 1991 GHAC Bowl, the Assumption Crusaders versus the Glendale Bears, and Dave will begin the introductions momentarily. Again, about Glendale, though, we'll have to watch out. Oh, here's Dave Foxcroft now.
And friends, my name's Dave Foxcroft, and welcome to Ivor Wynne Stadium, proud host to the first ever Golden Horseshoe Athletic Conference Championship game. The GHAC Bowl, between the Halton champion, the Assumption Crusaders, and the Bears, the Glendale Bears of Hamilton. And now, here are your starting lineups, so let's get ready to rumble! First, the starting offensive lineup for the Assumption Crusaders. At center, wearing number 66, Sean Byrne. At guard, wearing number 54, Ryan Kirk. At guard, wearing number 56, Marcus Obel. At tackle, wearing number 63, Steve McFarland. At tackle, wearing number 68, Paul Landry. At end, wearing number 71, Chris Carpenter. Also at end, wearing number 89, Mike Brady. The wide receiver, wearing number 22, Mike Page. At tailback, wearing number 34, Joe Maher. At fullback, number 9, Derek Fawcett. At halfback, number 24, Ron Daaman. And the man at the helm of the Crusaders at quarterback, number 12, J.J. Hope. Head coach of the Crusaders, Mike Harris. He's assisted by Joe Babick, Peter DeVille, Ross Ferguson, Ted Govella, Sandy Kirk, and Rob Nelson. And now the starting defensive lineup for the Bears, the Glendale Bears. At end, wearing number 74, Tim Pierce. At tackle, number 63, John Lott. At nose guard, wearing number 66, Bill Gardner. At tackle, wearing number 65, Shad Condon. At end, number 12, William Godfrey. At corner, number 23, Jeff Brown. Linebacker number 24, Mike Redmond. Also at linebacker number 77, Jason Pickup. At corner, number 38, John Baldwin. At halfback, wearing number 22, Joe Stokes. At safety, wearing number 21, Anthony Lay. And at halfback, wearing number 32, Joel Fagerland. Head coach of the Glendale Bears, Ed Turek. He's assisted by Gary Ross, Dino Galgani, Dennis Cook, Gord Culp, Pete Robson, and Steve Stratford.
So there you have it, Clint.
Now if you direct your attention to center
the starting
field
lineup for both teams.
Kickoff. 3 Hamilton Tiger Cats representing the 3 school boards involved in tonight's game. First representing the Hamilton Roman Catholic School Board, a graduate of...
So there you have it, Clint, the starting lineups. It's the 1991 GHAC Bowl, and they're just now having a ceremonial kickoff down at center field. It looks like Richard Nurse, Lee Knight, and another member of the Cats, I really can't tell who it is from here, are going to perform a ceremonial kickoff.
Well, each one of the 3 representatives from the Ticats will be representing each of the 3 different counties of associations that are drawn into this GHAC Bowl.
That's Dale Sanderson, actually, there, Clint, from the Cats.
You have Richard Nurse from Halton, obviously. Hamilton. We'll change that. Lee Knight is from Halton. And Sanderson you see lining up.
Nice shoe there by Lee Knight. He got into that one pretty good. Sanderson has to run for it. Of course, Richard Nurse, the outstanding product from Westmount High. About my age, we used to roam around the same time frame. And Lee Knight, of course, I believe went to Nelson or Elgin, actually, out in Burlington. Now our national anthem. stirring rendition there, Clint, as a house of about 2,500 to 3,000 tune in for this telecast. And again, welcome the viewers from Cable 14 in Hamilton, a jam-packed press box here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. And it is now kickoff time. And our officials tonight, again, tough for us to see, but there's Harley McKay down there. Paul Chapman, Paul Hoke, Mike Grollo, Kim Murphy are also down there helping out Harley McKay.
Real veteran crew, outstanding officials on the field to monitor this game, Steve. I don't think the referees will come into a factor. It's two hard-playing teams that'll really go into this. A little note, Steve, apparently J.J. Hope suffering a hip pointer earlier this week playing basketball in Assumption. He may not start. Rumor has it Mike Page will be slated as the starting quarterback for the Assumption Crusaders, according to Coach Harris. We'll watch and see what happens as far as J.J. Hope goes.
Well, I'll tell you, a hip pointer, one of those injuries, it doesn't seem like much, but it's almost like turf toe that Pinball Clemens is suffering. It just renders you useless. You can't perform out there, and what a blow that will be for the Assumption Crusaders. J.J. Hope, one of the premier quarterbacks in the area, and there he is, number 12, clad in blue there in the middle of your screen, and that is J.J. Hope, the starting QB, and maybe not the starting QB tonight.
Well, Steve, we had anticipated this Tyler Clark versus J.J. Hope. That was really the talk of the town in Hamilton and Burlington, Oakville, all over Halton and all over Hamilton. Two of the premier quarterbacks in Ontario going head-to-head along with their teams.
You're watching CableNet Sports coverage of the first ever Golden Horseshoe Athletic Conference Championship from Ivor Wynne Stadium. Steve Foxcroft with Clint O'Neill, and Clint, we do a show out in Halton called Halton Sports Week where we have Bubba's bets and Fox's picks week after week. You won the championship this year, eking out a victory, I might add. But how do you look at this game?
Well, you take a look at the Assumption Crusaders and they play balanced. They're just a balanced team, offensively and defensively. We saw them. They've come off two straight shutouts in the Halton semifinal, 19-0 versus White Oaks of Oakville, and then defeating Oakville Trafalgar in the Halton final, 17-0. So this team hasn't been scored on in 8 quarters. Their defense is really peaking. Their offense very balanced, led by J.J. Hope, and of course the 3 runners in Fawcett, who will run right up the gut, pick up 3-4 yards as he's done all year. Maher, who is probably one of the best blockers we'll ever see running the ball, and the speedster, the 4'4", Ron Daaman.
Well, let's talk about the Glendale Bears. There you see them, clad in their familiar orange and black. We went down off the opening, the outstanding tradition over there at Glendale. But how about the front of this defensive line? Bill Gardner, 6'2", 310 pounds.
Oh, my.
Shad Condon, 6'2", 250. And John Lott, 6'3", 280. On the other hand, the Assumption Crusaders only have one guy on the roster over 230 pounds. The Bears' offensive line averages 241. On the ground, Joe Stubbs and Anthony Lane are the chief threats, along with Tyler Clark, the quarterback. We're almost ready to go. The Crusaders will be receiving and defending the East End here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. The crowd strong in numbers, and they're into it. The first time they've seen one another in ever.
Eric Peth and Ron Daaman back to receive the punt at the 10-yard line, with Joe Maher standing in the middle somewhere nearing the 30-yard line.
Glendale comes into the game with a 6-2 record. They were defeated in the last game of the regular season, 42-7 by the strong Barton Barons. Many people thought Barton was the strongest high school football team in Canada. And in the first game of the year, they were upended 21-5 by a tough Sir Alan McNabb team. Playoff victories over Westdale, Barton, Newman, and now they're in the GHAC final. The ball will come down to Daaman. He is a speedster, a transfer this year as he hands off to Pep, who's wrapped up in good special teams there by the Glendale Bears right off the bat.
Well, Steve, as I take a look at the sideline, J.J. Hope will be starting this football game. And again, he is the pivotal part of the offense. Everything works around him.
Let's go over the Crusaders' offense if we can. As there you see Peth going off the field as he seems to be moving a little gingerly there. So the Crusaders will start out 1st and 10. Ball inside their 20, if you can believe it, Clint, at their own 17-yard line.
Ball control is there. Knock, Steve, and that's exactly what they'll do.
Hope hands off up the middle And about a 4-yard gain there by Derek Fawcett.
Let's take a look at the Assumption offensive line. The end, Chris Carpenter along with Mike Brady. The tackles are Steve McFarland and Marcus O'Ball. The guards are Ryan Kirk and Mark Delville. And the whole unit is led by number 66, the center, Sean Byrne.
Pretty good offensive line for the Crusaders. Remember, a smaller offensive line, but they really scrap.
The backfield, the quarterback, J.J. Hope, number 12. Watch him. Number 9, Derek Fawcett. Joe Maher, number 34. The speedster, Ron Daaman, 24. And the wideout, number 22, Mike Page.
Handoff again for the Crusaders. Swarming defense there by the Bears. And a minimal gain once again for the Assumption Crusaders. Here's the Glendale defense. Let's run it down for you. Up front, we got Bill Gardner, John Lott, and Chad Condon. The big tackles, those are the main three we talked about. Bill Godfrey and Tim Pierce are the ends. The linebacking core, led by Jason Pickup in the middle. John Baldwin, Mike Redmond, and Jeff Brown. The backs are Joe Stubbs, Anthony Lane, and Joel Fagerlin.
Third and a short one, Steve.
Hope may keep it himself here, but with that injury, may give to the first man, and he does. And that looks like Fawcett as he hits the line and will have a first down. So that's a very important first series for the Assumption Crusaders. They move the stick.
Steve, nothing fancy out of the Assumption Crusaders. The one back, number 9, Derek Fawcett. 2 carries of the 3. The other one going to Joe Maher. Again, Joe Maher is obviously the key in the running game, number 34. He is hurting, Steve.
Playing over on that Assumption sidelines, they've already got the Bubba Chop going. For the folks in Hamilton, you know the Tomahawk Chop. Well, the folks at Assumption have adorned themselves onto Clint Bubba O'Neill is his nickname. Former alumni of, he is an alumni of Assumption. They start out 1st and 10, just outside their own 30. A flip outside that time. It looked like Daamen was the ball carrier, and he was tripped up there by the front 3 of the Glendale Bears. Daamen a speedster, though.
This Glendale defense will be really tested. The diversified, simple, though, offense of the Assumption Crusaders can take it around the end with success. They can run up the gut. J.J. Hope, we've yet to see him run out, and Steve, that is really the added dimension that a lot of teams don't have, is a quarterback that is not afraid to run.
J.J. Hope can do it on the ground, or he can hurt you through the air. Fawcett, Daamen, and Maher, the backfielders, it's 2nd and 10, the ball at the 31. This is Maher on the crosscut play, and he goes ahead, and he'll pick up close to 3 that time.
Steve, though, when I look over the defense, I've seen Glendale play. I saw them annihilate Newman in the Hamilton Championship. J.J. Hope will have to go to the air to balance things out. This is the added weapon that J.J. Hope has. This time he'll have to use it. He was 3 out of 5 against Oakville Trafalgar, completing a couple of good passes there, and the 2 that were incomplete were drops. He'll have to complete passes this evening.
3rd down and 6 for the Crusaders as Hope brings them out of their huddle. The ball at the 35-yard line, full house backfield. Hope looks to go to the air. He has time, fires, and it is caught in there. An excellent reception. It looked like Carpenter coming out of the end position.
That was Mike Brady from his right end position with an outstanding grab. Let's take a look at it on replay. Watch the protection that J.J. Hope has here. Fires a pass downfield, and Brady with an immaculate reception there in traffic, but J.J. Hope well enough to drill it in there. First down, Crusaders.
Moves the ball to the 45-yard line for Assumption, and Hope gets that all-important first completion. They got away with one there because Maher was in the same area as the receiver. Shake up there, and this is Fawcett as he motors ahead, and he'll pick up good yardage there. Paul Chapman, one of the officials with a spot, will bring it back a couple yards there, so we'll give him 3 on the carry, 2nd and 7.
Steve, we've said it 1,000 and million times, but we'll say it again. There is no one in the league, at least in Halton, that we've seen that runs like Derek Fawcett. 2 hands on the ball, his head down looking at the carpet, and always goes for positive yardage.
A very good north-south runner is Derek Fawcett. 2nd down and 7 now for the Crusaders. 1 man in the backfield. Look for Hope to go to the air. No, he hands off first man again, and motoring ahead is the Crusaders once again, and that is that man, Derek Fawcett.
This is what we're going to have to see out of the Assumption Crusaders. Obviously, the Glendale Bears have had a look at the Assumption Crusaders through tapes and talk. They line up Maher and Daamen, 2 fast guys, and are able to catch a ball, line them out, twin on the left side, with only one man back and give to the one man. A little bit of trickery, though, for the Assumption Crusaders.
Give Fawcett 4 on the carry. 3rd and 3 now. The ball as the Crusaders slowly creep out of their own end. They're on their own 52, approaching midfield. Full house backfield for Hope. Hands off and going over the right side that time. It looked to be...
That's Joe Maher.
Yeah, that's Maher, and he's motoring ahead, but brought down and stopped there by the Glendale defense.
This will depend on the official spot. Outstanding runner in Joe Maher, always has the legs pumping. Let's take a look at Maher and how he did against his white Oakville Trafalgar in the Halton final. 7 rushes for 43 yards. And again, Maher is hurting. He is the key blocker. 4th down and short.
4th and inches. The Crusaders will have to cross midfield. So for Byrne, Delville, Kirk and company, they'll have to get, and Marcus Obal, McFarland, they'll have to motor ahead. Fawcett will get the call, and it looks like he has a first down. Let's take a look at Hope's performance last week, Clint.
J.J. Hope adds so much to this offense. As we've said, 3 out of 5 for 57 yards. Rushing the ball, that added dimension that he does have. 9 rushes for 52 yards. So again, that is a good half of the yardage that they chewed up against Oakville Trafalgar last week, and again, showing you what a big part of this offense Hope really is.
Well, with the hip pointer, though, he may have that dimension taken right out of his repertoire. He'll use full house backs again. They're in Bear territory. Drops back, 7-step drop, looks to throw, got a man open, but overthrows the intended receiver. It looked like Mike Page.
And you see J.J. Hope down on the carpet slamming his hands down on the ground. He knew he had Mike Page open, and the Glendale defense certainly was looking all run there. Mike Page running that 4.6 40 has the really deceptive speed for a small guy. A lot of people, defensive backs at Halton, really never got the respect he deserved until he burned them for 50 and 60-yard touchdowns.
That's right. Crusaders won their 2nd consecutive Halton title just a week ago, 17-0 on this same carpet over the Oakville Trafalgar Red Devils. That final marked the 4th consecutive game Assumption has held opposition without a touchdown. Here is Daamen, a speedster. If he gets to the outside, he does a nice job there. He'll pick up about 7 yards. And before he's pushed into touch, so far the Bears defense is bend but don't break.
There's a shot of the big runner up the gut, Derek Fawcett. 16 rushes for 67 yards. And all that stuff is bread and butter. Right up the gut, meat and potatoes football, the Assumption Crusaders.
Byrne, Delville, Kirk, McFarland, Obal are some guys that Fawcett, there you see him jogging off. He has to thank for his yardage he picks up all season long. Been a really good addition to the Crusaders, as well as Daamen, of course, if you speak of additions.
Mike Fabiani checks in, Fawcett goes out.
This time it is Daamen as he goes off tackle right side, and he'll be close to another Crusader first down. And the Crusaders beginning to wear out the Bears here. Remember, the Bears have that early power that they can put you right away very quickly.
Well, this is exactly what the Assumption Crusaders have wanted to do all season long. Ball control. Steve, they've taken off in excess of 9 minutes off the clock already, and Glendale yet to touch the ball. 7 minutes. I'm thinking professional football. They're taking 7 minutes off the clock, and already Glendale yet to touch the ball offensively.
All this with injuries to their star quarterback, J.J. Hope. Ball at the 42. 1st and 10 as Daamen achieved yardage there. Fawcett comes back in. The ball is loose, and the Bears have it. The Bears have recovered the fumble of Derek Fawcett. As he tried to spin ahead for more yards, the ball popped loose.
And it looks like number 66, Bill Gardner. Let's take a look at it on replay. Fawcett does nothing here but goes straight ahead. And watch Gardner. Fawcett fighting for extra yards. And it appeared to be number 24 in there, Mike Redmond, that stuck his hand into the 2 hands of Fawcett, ripped the ball out, and there, Bill Gardner recovers the fumble. Glendale ball, 1st down and 10 from the 37.
Well, the Crusaders, you mentioned it, they held the ball for quite a while there, and now let's see this Bears offense as they go to work now. Tyler Clark is the quarterback. 3 men behind him. He hands off to the 2nd man. This is Joe Stubbs, and he does some sharp running there, and he'll pick up close to 3 or 4 yards on his first carry. Let's go over this Bears offense. Up front, Dave Ferguson, the center. The guards are Shad Condon and John Lott. Tackles, Tim Pierce, Bill Gardner. The ends, Chris Sheldrick and Bill Godfrey. The wideout, John Baldwin. Clark is your quarterback. Behind him, Joe Stubbs, Jeff Brown, and Anthony Lane. A sharp offense for the Glendale Bears.
Big tackle in there by the right end, and Chris Carpenter, he'll have to be sharp all afternoon.
Clark has two men to his right, and they go that way this time. And this time it looked to be Jeff Brown, the ball carrier. Sorry, that was Stubbs once again, and he went off the right side. There's a good look at Joe Stubbs of the Glendale Bears.
Take a look at the Assumption defense. The ends, Joe Maher and Chris Carpenter. The tackles, Marcus Obal and Sean Byrne. The linebackers, Mike Brady, Ryan Kirk, Mark Delville, Nathan Gallany, and Chuck Attardo.
Bears get it done when they have to. This is their fourth straight sudden death game.
The backfield for the Crusaders, 35 Tom Reynolds, 95 Fabiani, and they
could be on their way here. The Bears are going to be on the board. We talked about it, and here's Tony Lane as he's off, and the Bears strike first. They're up 6-0 on only their third carry from scrimmage. And that was just good effective football there. A good blocking scheme up front as Tim Pierce and Bill Godfrey got things going. Here's another look at it. Anthony Lane, the ball carrier.
Fabulous running straight up the gut. Lane is gone, and Reynolds cannot catch him. The Crusaders, it was just about to say the safety, Chris McLean, had an opportunity at making a diving tackle, confused by the blocking stream up front by the Glendale Bears, and by then it's too late. Lane is gone.
Well, it didn't take the Bears long to get on the scoreboard here at Ivor Wynne Stadium, and they draw first blood in the GHAC final. And now they'll try an extra point. Flags are down on the play as the kick is up and good, but we'll have to take a look here. It could be offside Assumption. The Bears don't seem to mind. They're walking off.
Well, for the Assumption Crusaders defensively, now they're shell-shocked. They haven't had a touchdown scored on them in 4 games. How do they react? Let's get the call.
Here's Harley McKay. So it was offside Crusaders. They'll probably take the yardage on the kickoff, which they will do, and keep the point. There you have our score. The Glendale Bears 7, the Assumption Crusaders no score. Didn't take the Bears long to get things rolling, and they get the job done when they have to. Let's go over their season while we have a second. Their first game of the year, they lose to the McNabb Lions 21-5, but then they put together a nice 3-game winning streak, dumping Scott Park, Westdale, and Hill Park. Westdale and Hill Park they actually shut out. And then they got bombarded in the final game of the regular season, 42-7 by the Barton Barons. Both coaches said coming into this game, a loss did their teams well throughout this season. And in the Hamilton semifinal, Glendale got by Westdale 30-10. Then they took on Barton, big upset, 13-7 there. In the city final, or in the all-city final, which was the GHAC semi, they get by Newman, 41-14. That game played last week to get here to the GHAC Bowl. Crusaders had a nice drive on their opening possession. They'll look to do the same here, and it looks like it could be Peth starting out with it. He's got some blocking, and he gets away from one man. There's a flag on the play, but Peth has a nice run to get out to his own 38-yard line. Remember, a flag on the play, it could be an illegal block back there by the Crusaders, which will have them scrimmage from about their 15-yard line if that is the case.
Well, Steve, you take a look at where the location of that flag is, and obviously it need not be done. Peth running deep on that left side of the field, running outstandingly there, picking up, reading the blocks, and now the ball will have to go all the way back to what you think is the 15-yard line.
Block below the waist is the call against the Crusaders. So that will come back 10 yards, and they will, instead of scrimmaging from their 38, they scrimmage from their 22.
The Crusaders cannot afford to self-destruct. They have already committed the 1 turnover and penalties. A team, Mike Harris usually does not have these guys committing a lot of fouls. They will have to be very very clean when it comes to playing offensively.
Hope has one man back. 3 guys flooded out to the wide side, the right side of the field, and he hands off. First man straight ahead. The Crusaders will grab 4 yards. And good to see they go right back to Fawcett after last time he carried, he fumbled.
Certainly to give him a little bit of confidence, get him back into the groove of things. He's played that position for the Assumption Crusaders 3 seasons now. And again, he's not a guy that commits a lot of fumbles. We have an injured Bear down on the ground. We'll try and pick up the number.
Any injuries obviously crucial in this time of the season because you got your veterans in there, letting them play as much as possible, and you have everything to gain and everything to lose, obviously, in a game of this magnitude. Strong tradition over there at Glendale, the Hamilton representative this year. Always a very tough football program. And there you see the
player number 77, Jason Pickup, being assisted off the field there by the athletic trainer. Seems to be favoring his right knee, perhaps, or his ankle. Might have turned it there on that kickoff return.
Well, Pickup and Redmond anchor the linebacking core of this Glendale Bears squad, and the Bears, Coach Turek cannot afford to lose a guy like Jason Pickup, one of the anchors in there, a solid defensive player. Coach Turek, before the game, spoke to him, was quietly confident.
2nd down and 6 for the Crusaders, again deep within the shadow of their own end zone. Up and around the 26.
Play is blown in. Same formation now, as it looks like Fabiani is behind Hope. Hope, who calls signals, now looks to flip it out there, and it is Daamen who makes the reception. He's got 5-6 Bears after him, though, and he's pushed into touch into that Bear bench.
Good execution on the part of J.J. Hope to quickly turn that back. Throw the strike over to Daamen, but Daamen waits a moment, though, and this is why this play doesn't really go for the yards it could. You see Daamen there, and they actually waited there because he lost control of the ball. Those split seconds that he fumbled around with the ball cost him valuable yardage.
Well, it'll be 3rd and a couple now for the Crusaders as another Bear gets assistance off the field, and it is slowly taking its toll. That is injury slowly taking its toll, and it looked like Tim Pierce is the guy shaken up on that play. 3rd down short Crusaders, ball just outside their own 30-yard line. Early movement, flag on the play. It looks like Bears may be offside as Maher motors ahead for a 1st down.
Well, it won't matter anyway. Glendale a little anxious here, trying to stop the Crusaders on 3rd and short, and they may have just stepped offside.
And it is offside Glendale, the preliminary signal by the official, Harley McKay. So virtually no decision for J.J. Hope. He'll just say, move those sticks. 2:17 to go, 1st quarter action from Ivor Wynne and Hamilton. Steve Foxcroft with Clint O'Malley watching
63 on the defense. 1st down.
The GHAC Bowl here on CableNet Sports, Channel 23 in Oakville, and a special feed to you viewers in Hamilton on Cable 14.
Steve, we talked about the size of the defensive line of the Glendale Bears. The Assumption Crusaders will have to go to different blocking techniques up top to compensate for that size.
This time, same setup, reverse the field though, and they're looking to set up the same thing maybe here as the Crusaders give it ahead to Fabiani up the middle, and Fabiani moving the ball well.
John Locke there with the tackle there on Fabiani, and for a big guy, he's certainly showing a lot of mobility there and stopping a guy like Fabiani who's big, sizey, and can run up the gut with good effectiveness there.
Saw a moment ago Glenn Dilworth, number 7 for the Assumption Crusaders, on the sidelines checking out the action. Coach Harris has done a remarkable job with the Assumption Crusader football program over there.
3 Halton championships in 7 years. Good domination.
8-1 record coming into this ball game. Again, the Crusaders use the same formation, and Hope will roll out to the right side, and he's swarmed there, but he'll pitch out actually before he gets brought down for a loss, and it looked like Daamen was the ball carrier, and he was pushed into touch and picked up close to 5 on the play.
Well, he gets up to about the 39-yard line, just shy of it. It'll be 3rd down and short. This is exactly what the Crusaders want to do. If they are going to run their conservative running style offense, they want to have 3rd and short every single time. An injured Glendale Bear, and that is Anthony Lane, Joe Stubbs. And again, he's very valuable, a speedster in that defensive backfield.
The only thing Coach Turek has going for him is he's got 5 capable running backs that he can throw into the Bears' offensive backfield. Pope will give to Fabiani. He tries to dive straight ahead, and Clint, I don't think he has a first down. The spot will be very important here. I think we're looking at about 4th and a foot, but it's too close to call. I think they're going to have a measurement.
Good inside penetration in there by Gardner, Condon, and Lott to stuff that run by Fabiani. I'm going to have to maybe question that running play on perhaps that down situation. Well, it's worked successfully running Fawcett up the gut. He's hurt you once with the fumble, but you got to go back to him. He's been there before. He's been there 3-4 years.
Another Bear injury, though. And that there's Coach Turek of the Glendale Bears. He's got the pencil in the air. Pretty sharp, too. Pretty sharp, I tell you.
Well,
does
Steve,
a good job.
And the lineup for this whole game has been it's David versus Goliath. The big Bears being Goliath, obviously, and it seems to be they're falling quickly as far as the injuries go.
Now, that may even the score here. Is obviously the Crusaders aren't 100% at key positions coming into this ball game as well. And now you have Stubbs, Pickup, Pierce, all favoring injuries now for the Glendale Bears.
William Godfrey just being assisted off the field there, walking very gingerly, favoring legs again. So, as I talked about the changing blocking techniques of the Assumption Crusaders, again, maybe to compensate for the size, they are hitting low.
I'll tell you, both teams are hitting very hard here in the early going of the GHAC Bowl. It's 7-0 Glendale. Punt formation on 4th and 1 for the Crusaders, and they're going to fake it. And it's a first down as, I wouldn't even have dropped the guy back there. On 4th and 1 in a GHAC Bowl, I don't think they're going to punt the ball away.
Well, we'll take a look at the direct snap here. Right back to Joe Maher. Good blocking right up front. Big hole for Maher, picking up more than substantial yardage for the first down. Again, you have to respect the kicking abilities of a Kowalyk as well, too. Probably the most outstanding kicker in Halton.
Well, I'll tell you, Bill Godfrey on the other side for the Glendale Bears, a dynamite kicking game. These Glendale Bears have. Handoff up the middle again is Fabiani. And the Crusaders certainly don't shy away from running the ball up the heart of that Glendale Bears defense.
Shad Condon was just waiting for Mike Fabiani, but Fabiani was able to pick up maybe perhaps an extra half a yard after Condon made the initial contact.
Strength against strength right here as the Crusaders running right in. Let's remind the viewers, Bill Gardner, 6'2", 310 pounds. We only got that weight because we took him out to the QEW where they weigh trucks. So here are the Crusaders. Hope flipping it out to Daamen. He cuts it back up the middle, and he'll approach midfield a couple yards shy of a first down. Good play selection on the final play of the first quarter for the Assumption Crusaders there, going inside-outside, mixing it up, ground and air.
Steve, they're a good key block in there from number 34, Joe Maher. That play loses yards if Maher doesn't get the first key initial block for the Glendale Bears. Good way of stringing out that running attack there of the Assumption Crusaders. Make them run wide, west and east, and not north-south.
I'll tell you, we talked about the kicking game, and Bill Godfrey of the Glendale Bears leads the team in scoring. 3 touchdowns, 19 converts, 2 field goals, some safety, some single points in there too, and he leads the team in scoring with 39 points, and he had an MVP performance last week in the GHAC semifinal against Cardinal Newman. He was dynamite.
Once again, 3rd and short for the Crusaders.
That has been the story in the first quarter as the Crusaders are using ball control. Glendale will step offside again as Maher motors his way close to a first down. I think he may have one.
Maher would have had the first down running the ball there. You see a shot at Joe Maher. Big, tough runner. Certainly one of the toughest guys you will ever find to bring down. Long, lanky, strong in the legs, strong up top as well, too. But, again, the Glendale Bears a little over-anxious on 3rd down to try and stuff the run.
I'll tell you one thing about Joe Maher is, remarkably, with the punishment he dishes out and he takes, he's always in the lineup for Coach Harris.
Boy, and
never goes
offside,
down.
Number 12 in the defense, first down.
Harley McCabe flagged number 12 that time of the Bears, Bill Godfrey, as he stepped into that neutral zone as the ball was snapped. 5 yards the easy way for the Crusaders.
Got to credit this offensive line here for the Assumption Crusaders. they've stood up pretty good against these oversized Glendale Bears.
Full house backs again as Hope sends them to the right side, and this looks like Path with the ball, and he'll have another first down. A nice running play with good lead blocking for the Crusaders.
We talked about the Glendale Bears and how diversified and how many running backs they have. Complemented very much by the Assumption Crusaders. They're starting three of Maher, Daamen, and Fawcett, also complemented by Pet, Hercules, and as well as Kowalyk and Fabiani. You see Pet there, a second stringer, doing the job there, picking up a first down.
Really, I haven't seen, I'm so used to seeing the Crusaders with Fawcett, Maher, and Daamen, and when Coach Harris throws in guys like Pat and Fabiani, I think a little more than usual.
Usually the score is about 30-0 at the time when you see those guys.
10:50 to go now, second quarter action. Here's Maher on the crossbuck. He's got room, but an excellent defensive play there by the Glendale Bears coming up from the corner linebacker.
Torrey Childs. Torrey Childs is the last savior here. Watch the Crusaders run the misdirection. Everyone thinks it's going up the gut. Daamen using some of that speed, and I'll tell you, Torrey Childs is the last man back for that Glendale defense, or Daamen is
unnecessary roughness, 24 on the defense, first down.
A big penalty.
They also got a timeout on the defense.
Timeout charge to Glendale, as well as an unnecessary roughness penalty. Again, Steve, we talk of mistakes. A shot of Coach Harris talking into his jacket.
Yeah. He's got that new style of jacket, Clint, that has an earpiece and a microphone into it. So Torrey Childs, the grade 12 student over there at Glendale, 5'7", 155 with a touchdown-saving tackle on Joe Maher. He's not the easiest guy to bring down. Tack on a penalty, though, to Glendale, and that puts the Crusaders in pretty good shape here, just on the Glendale side of the 15-yard line, and they're knocking on the door. There's a timeout on the field.
Steve, going back to mistakes again, the penalties like that you just don't want to see in this part of the season. Tail end, two best teams within the next 50 miles. Foolish, silly penalties.
Fabiani, Maher, and Daamen behind J.J. Hope, who calls signals, and this is Fabiani. He'll fall ahead and grab a couple of yards there. And again, the Crusaders do not fear going after the big front three of the Glendale Bears.
Well, Sean Byrne obviously feels he can do the job, as well as Ryan Kirk, the left guard, and Mark Delville. You see a shot of a young Assumption fan.
Yeah.
See her boyfriend's playing?
Well, I don't think that's the case. Maybe he's playing over at one of the elementary schools. You're talking about, but she had trouble keeping her eyes open. I think these night games get to her.
Great playing a night game. Steve, these players have to be excited.
Fabiani picked up 3 yards, and here's Daamen on the flip to the outside. He picks up a block. He's got some room, turns the corner, touchdown!
Is set up by Joe Maher. Joe Maher with the key block. He is the center of the entire running game. We'll see it on replay. Watch number 34 lay an outstanding block to key off Daamen on the run. Look at Maher. Bingo. Stops him just enough to get Daamen around the corner, using that 4-4 speed to get in the end zone for 6.
Maher slowed up John Fagerlin just enough to allow Daamen to turn it upfield. And I'll tell you, Clint, no one's going to be packing up and leaving this game early. We're in for a dogfight right to the finish. And now our first chance to see Mark Kowalyk come on and try an extra point for the Assumption Crusaders. And if you haven't seen Kowalyk before, folks, looks like he wears his legs upside down. He's a
like
big
chicken leg.
He can really put the shoe into the football. Earlier this year, he kicked one from
47 yards, the new Halton High School record. Actually changed that, the record being held by Scott Shepard of Aldershot, 48 yards.
But Kowalyk into the wind at Nelson Stadium, put one through from 47 yards, which almost sent you right out of the press box.
Couldn't believe it.
So this is just a chip shot for him to tie the score. Kowalyk the kicker for the Crusaders. It's a 7-6 game with 10:04 to go in the first half. Page is the holder. Good snap. Kowalyk gets his shoe into it. It's up, and it's good. And Kowalyk actually got dinged on his follow-through there. No flag on the play. And our score in the GHAC final is 7-all. We'll take a brief timeout and be back here at Ivor Wynne. resume action here as the Bears receive a kickoff.
Oh, my.
And excellent special teams for the Crusaders as the Glendale kick return unit has nowhere to go. And that was Mike Gooden who tried to get things started for the Bears, but they're going to end up in pretty decent field position at about their 32-yard line.
An unusually short kickoff there by Kowalyk, though, and Mike Gooden, meet 5'4", and Ryan Kirk as he came blazing down that field and laid a good lick on him.
Well, Tyler Clark has only had 3 plays from scrimmage for these Glendale Bears so far tonight, and here they go back to work. And 3 plays from scrimmage only because they had a big run for a major score.
Oh, a fumble.
Fumble, the ball is loose. The Crusaders have it. And boy,
Mark Delville.
If you decide the game on time of possession, which is always a key factor, the Crusaders would be well out in front. Here's another look.
It watched the misdirection handoff here by Tyler Clark. Almost a little fake there on the counter. The runner never comes up with the ball. Good penetration by the Crusaders to start with, and Mark Delville plays Johnny on the spot and comes up with the ball. Coach Harris must be happy.
Coach Harris just giving J.J. Hope a few extra coaching pointers before he sends them out onto the field on offense. So here come the Crusaders.
Steve,
and that evens up the turnover department.
In talking to a lot of coaches, they asked me, is this game going to be a blowout? I have to say, no way.
Fawcett back in at the fullback position. Hope will hand to Fawcett, who motors ahead, and good yards there as the
Fawcett carries. He picks up 3 for the Crusaders.
front linemen for the Assumption team are starting to back up the Glendale Bears. Burns, Delville, Kirk, McFarland, and Opal doing a great job off the ball that time, really exploding.
Glendale really peaking here, and maybe other than the Barons from Barton haven't faced a tougher squad other than the Assumption Crusaders.
So Hope, ball at the Glendale 25-yard line. It's second down and long 6 as Maher tries to get the job done, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and not too much more.
Good tackle in there by number 23, Jeff Brown, as he read that play wonderfully. And now the Crusaders are in a 3rd and long situation deep in Glendale territory. Let's see if Hope plays it safe, plays for the 3 points, or at least to set up for the 3 points, or if he'll go for all the marbles.
Well, I'd say he's got to do something here to get a first down. 3rd and 6 Crusaders. Ball at the 24-yard line of Glendale. Sends Page to the left. Flips to Daamen. Maher is the lead blocker. Daamen cuts it up, gets the outside. He's on his way. Gets inside the 5-yard line to the 4-yard line. Rob Flynn on the sidelines, definitely excited.
Steve, you can teach these guys only so many things. They have to go out in the field and execute. Watch the key blocks by 22, Mike Page. There's one block. Maher holds up the blocker. A nice split in there by Daamen, and again using the speed. But as I said, Steve, in tryouts and preseason, you can teach them so much, but they have to go out in the field and execute. Good execution there on the sweep.
First and goal, Crusaders, the ball at the Glendale 4-yard line.
Unusual lineup here for the 5-yard line for the Crusaders.
3 men flooded to the left side. Hand off, first man straight ahead. They get down close to the 2-yard line, and that, of course, was Derek Fawcett, the ball carrier for the Crusaders.
So the Crusaders hand off straight up the gut there on first and goal. Mike Harris leading away from his original philosophy inside the 5. Use the 3 backs, get the blocking, and go straight ahead.
Gardner, Condon, and John Lutt all there in on the stop of Fawcett. The ball at the 2.5-yard line. Maybe they were setting up a screen pass here or a quick flip out to the left side. However, this time, pro set, balanced formation now. There you see our goal line camera. Hope looks to throw. He rolls out to the right side. Pumps 3 times. He's on his way. Touchdown, Crusaders. And there you see the fans of Assumption are into it and excited as this team has come from behind here in the first half at Ivor Wynne Stadium to take the lead 13-7.
We were talking, Steve, when will J.J. Hope roll out? He hasn't done it all game. He waited till down to the 3-yard line, faking that pass, keeping the defensive backs at bay, and at will for him as he enters in the end zone.
Well, if he has a hip pointer, then I've got land in Florida. And there you see him. Maybe he does. Because he is down. Maybe I spoke just a second too soon, as our cable net cameras have picked up an interesting sight here, as J.J. Hope is obviously in a little bit of pain as he's trying to get that hip working.
Steve, it's the first time I think we've ever seen J.J. Hope down, a sign of concern for the fans as well as Coach Harris and the rest of his team. There is no doubt in my mind that this team is evolved around J.J. Hope. He's the emotional leader, the spiritual leader, and he leads by example out on the field.
Well, the Assumption, a relatively new school as schools go in Halton, and especially if you compare it to the tradition over there at Glendale, a school that's been around for eons. But the senior football program at Assumption started back in 1982, Clint, so it's still in its infancy, really. And the Crusaders have won 3 Halton championships, 1984, 1990, and 1991. And you were a part of one of those, weren't you?
Yeah, it was a good pleasure. It was our first senior championship of all time. And our junior programs won one as well, too, in 1982.
Assumption finished first in the Richardson division. They play in divisions out in Halton. Well, and this is serious because Coach Harris is now making his way out onto the field. And I've never seen Coach Harris out on the field to attend to a player. Maybe to attend to an official or two, but never to a player. They were the Richardson division champs with an 8-1 record, went on to win the Halton Championship. The only loss the Assumption Crusaders suffered this year was an overtime thriller, third game of the regular season, in a game which was rescheduled. They were supposed to play a night game out in Oakville, and because of inclement weather, the town of Oakville wouldn't let them use the field.
Don't use our grass.
So what they had to do was go to White Oaks the following Tuesday, I believe, where they were defeated in overtime. Maybe double overtime or single overtime. 21-14 was the final there. Since then, the Crusaders have reeled off 6 straight victories and are leading in the GHAC Bowl 13-7. But that picture there is not a good sight for any Assumption fans.
Steve, going back to that 21-14 loss to White Oaks, a game we did here on the CableNet Game of the Week, you and I, and a game that was 21-14, very, very close, and we saw Assumption play for the first time very sporadically. Other than that, all season, they've been on their game.
Well, it certainly has been a pleasure to watch J.J. Hope through his athletic career, his football career at Assumption, and I can only say that I hope that this is not the last shot we will see on our cameras of J.J. Hope leaving a football field.
Well, you know, J.J. Hope playing with the BMFA and the Burlington Minor Football Association, his whole career has been as a wide receiver, and he would like to play football in a college or university as a wide receiver. In junior, the coaches noticed the talent of him throwing the ball, converted him into a quarterback, and the rest has been history.
Anthony Lane started the scoring here, as first we'll have the extra point attempt by Kowalyk. The snap is good, it's down, it's up, and it is no good. So Kowalyk misses an extra point. I've never seen that one happen. Maybe he was shook up about the injury to Hope, and he just didn't concentrate or something.
Steve, I don't know if we can have a replay of that again, though, but I think the way that ball started to roll as it went up, the ball might have been tipped because the Glendale Bears had good initial penetration on the extra point attempt. There we go, down deep. Oh, and J.J. Hope is he is just not 100%. We knew that starting the game. Let's take a look at the extra point. See if there's penetration here by the Glendale Bears. Might have got a hand on it, though, but Kowalyk hit it so hard, it might have been just enough to shank it wide left. Mike Page.
Mike Page has got to be the guy who's probably the most nervous here at Ivor Wynne Stadium right now, because on the depth chart, for the first time this year, really, Coach Harris has had to even worry about having someone on the depth chart at the quarterback position.
Well, the couple of times the Crusaders have been involved in blowouts and have had gone to their backup quarterbacks, it's been Chris McLean or Mike Page.
Mentally, this will hurt the Crusaders because I'm sure everyone in a blue and white uniform is thinking about the condition.
Well, look at them. They've got their helmets up. We've seen this only once, Steve.
So Kowalyk gets a good shoe into it. It will come down to the Bears, who will start out at their 21-yard line. And good special teams work as Mike Redmond for the Bears got good yardage. And for Redmond, he's only in grade 11, Clint. We'll see Redmond, I'm sure, in a few more GHAC Bowls before he graduates.
Ryan Kirk, special teams extraordinaire, down the field again to tackle Redmond. Now, for the Glendale Bears, let's not forget here that the last time they touched the ball, they didn't execute properly. They want to go back to the basics. They're down in the score now. They want to do the things that got them here to the GHAC final.
Clark, Stubbs, Brown, and Tony Lane behind him.
Oh, my.
Handoff up the middle, and the Crusaders. Marcus Obal led the charge there. Last week, the Halton final, Obal received the Player of the Game award on behalf of the whole team. A team effort got him there.
The Assumption Crusaders read that play beautifully. Chocatardo comes in there from his linebacking position there. Nathan Galloni, and the rest of them just polish off the Glendale runner there. But they read that play beautifully. Second and long.
Actually, a loss of 1 on the play. Second and 11. Ball on the 29-yard line of Glendale. This time a familiar set. And Clark will look to air it out. Deep drop, fires downfield, and good coverage there by the Crusaders.
Reynolds with an outstanding defensive play in there.
And it looked like Pickup was the intended receiver that time. Number 77, Jason Pickup, streaked downfield there, tipped away at the last moment. Here's another
Clark
look.
Takes that deep drop, but this ball may hang up a little bit too long and allowed Reynolds to get in there and tip him. Beautiful execution there defensively for the Assumption Crusaders as Pickup was open.
Bear cheerleaders excited about what's happening here at Ivor Wynne. 3rd and 11 now for the Bears. They look to get a first down. Fired, and a man is open on this sideline right in front of us, and a completed pass to number 12, Bill Godfrey, coming from that left end position. Godfrey ran a nice pattern to get open, and the sticks are moving as Clark gets his first completion of the night.
That's what you want to see for Tyler Clark. Get his confidence in there. He completed a good pass in there, and it showed some excellent technique there for Tyler Clark. Looking off the receiver. He might have wanted to throw a screen right side there. Check that off, check the right side, then saw a wide open.
There's Clark, 26 for 62 for 446 yards on the season. He can run the football, 30 carries for 140 yards. This time the Bears go straight up the gut. And I think although the Bears can strike quickly, I think it's important. We know they're well coached. I think it's important for the Bears to maybe stay on offense for a little while here, move the chains a couple of times, and just get some snaps into them.
Well, they certainly want to stay out of that 3rd and long position as they were in last series of downs. They pick up good yardage here on first down. And let's see what they do second down.
The Bears, it's only their 3rd possession of the night, and there's 4:40 to go in the first half. Stacked backs now. Final man, it looks like Lane, and he carries ahead for close to 2 as the Bears approach their own 50-yard line.
Nathan Gallany in there low to hit the runner, bring him down. Good play defensively, and once again, 3rd and long for the Bears.
Looks like Mike Redmond. There you see Redmond checking into the huddle. Tony Lane also there, along with Bill Godfrey. And Clark will bring them out. 3rd and 6 now. Bears, a very important down.
Watch the screen.
Clark drops back. He's got the man open again, and it's just overthrown. As that time Pickup had a few steps on Reynolds. However, Clark could not connect. Ball just overthrown.
Steve, the line on the Assumption Crusaders is you're going to have a lot of trouble running up the gut. Their linebackers are tough outside. You're going to have a lot of trouble running outside. The way to beat the Assumption Crusaders is throwing on them and perhaps throwing deep. Tom Reynolds, excellent coverage man, isn't blessed with the most explosive speed for that defensive back, but he can be beat.
Tony Lane, Clint, of course, on the season, 284 yards rushing, a 5.9 yard average. He's got 3 touchdowns to his credit, but what a great average, 6 yards a carry. Godfrey gets a shoe into it, and it will come down to Daamen. Bears retreat to give yards as Daamen settles over top of the ball. He's got to pick it up or Godfrey may jump on it. Now Daamen shifts his way, but won't get much after he let that ball sit for so long. The Bears surrounded.
Well, I think, to be truthful, Daamen is experiencing a little bit of fright there. He didn't want to take it on the bounce because he had set to take it on the bounce. The ball took a little bit of a mishit, started rolling right. Then he said, well, I'm going to wait and just down this ball. And then he decides to pick it up as he saw a couple blockers. So,
well, you got to remember, on a punt situation, that punter or any onside man, every man that punter crosses is now onside and eligible to jump on the football for a recovery.
Well, Assumption's offense now changes as Mike Page comes in to quarterback the Assumption Crusaders.
First snap for Page. And it will be a handoff up the gut to Fawcett, who picks up 5 yards, a flag on the play. This will be interesting.
The Assumption Crusaders have heard the cadence of J.J. Hope all season long. You got a new guy in there. You've practiced during practice, still not the same game condition.
I'm sure that Page really doesn't take too many snaps of practice either.
Well, he's the wideout as well, too. And how many times do you want your wide receiver?
Here's Harley McKay.
Offside, number 50 on the defense. First down.
Wow, hey, we're wrong. Big break for the Assumption Crusaders there as Glendale is charged with the offside.
Corey Drysdale caught in that neutral zone.
Bears fell for offside.
Just a little too anxious. Crusaders accept the infraction, 5-yard foul. 1st and 5, ball at their own 26-yard line. Page will call signals again. Same play as Fawcett, the ball carrier once again, and he may have a first down.
Quarterback for the Crusaders.
This is very close. I think he may be about a half a foot shy.
Close to the first.
Suppose those are my just referee's eyes from way up here.
Well, an interesting situation now. Who's going to play wideout? Chris McLean, the safety for the Crusaders defensively, will now play the wideout position in place of Mike Page.
There's Coach Turk on the sides, and you know that pencil will go to work at halftime as he will try and make some adjustments to get the Bears back up on top here. 3 minutes to go in the first half. The officials give the warning to both sides, and the clock will run. It's 2nd down and inches to go for the Crusaders. Mike Page in at quarterback, a flip. And this is Pep as he tries the left side. Makes a nice move, and he'll have the first down yardage.
Mike Harris sees something that he likes. Running that sweep outside left side has gotten him almost a touchdown once, and got him a touchdown on another occasion earlier in the first quarter. He runs that play to the second stringer in Pep, and again picks up first down yardage. The offense, though, you're going to have to believe will be a little bit more, how can I say, conservative and simple with Mike Page in there.
Well, I would definitely throw out the passing plays anyways, and maybe the Bears can tee off on that. However, if the offensive line performs the way it is so far, there will be no problems for the Crusaders. There's JJ on the sides.
There's JJ talking in there to middle linebacker. That is Mark Delville. Having a little discussion as they cover him up there. They don't want the cameras to have a shot of him.
It's not very nice. We'll have to talk to Mark about that. Don't need that. With all the help and press you've been giving them all year to do that.
Oh, this is their biggest game ever. I can understand exactly what they're going through now. A little bit adversity for the Crusaders. They've never been through this.
Plus, I've never seen JJ shy away from a camera.
No.
Yardsticks move for the Crusaders, coming up to 2 minutes to play here in the first half. You're watching CableNet Sports on CCTV, our game of the week. Steve Foxcroft with Clint O'Neill at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. Again, a reminder and a welcome to the Cable 14 viewers here in Hamilton. Here's Daamen as he tries the right side. And again, Daamen, an excellent decision maker when he carries the football, knows when to cut it up for maximum yardage.
Steven, you have to pick a surprise in this game. You have to really admire the way the Assumption front line, including the ends of Carpenter, Brady, Obal, Delville, Burns, Kurt, McFarland, how they're playing. They are being outsized by this huge defensive line and even the linebackers of the Glendale Bears, and they are really holding their own.
They certainly are not intimidated. 2nd and 3 now, Crusaders, and this is Fabiani. Spins away from one tackler. And now an interesting note here. You see a lot of the Bears standing around on defense, not really moving towards the football, but you see the Crusaders always in a trot, always hustling in and out of the huddle, where the Bears are now starting to stand still and virtually become spectators.
Steve, let's remind ourselves here, the Glendale Bears have never seen the Assumption Crusaders before. They don't know that Mike Page is never taken a snap in a real game situation this season, other than when the game is a blowout. So really, they don't really know his ability or what to expect. Page going to the air.
He has a man open, and it's caught. That is Mike Brady. Mike Brady down to the 15-yard line. What a play, and Page is really surprising us here as he has looked remarkable.
Well, we just talked about it. Maybe J.J. Hope won't have to come back with passes like that. Let's take a look at it on replay. Again, solid blocking from his offensive line. The pocket is created. The pass is thrown downfield to Mike Brady, who is wide open.
Coverage there by number 20 for the Bears.
Last minute of play in the half.
And that was Henzi Durashnig with the defensive coverage. Here's Fabiani as he tries the middle for the Crusaders. And let's take a look. Take a look at the Glendale Bears, the orange shirts that either get up slow or are standing still watching the guy with the ball run by them. That's starting to become the difference in the final 3 minutes of this half. Crusaders really checked in here tonight, not being intimidated, although they were outside.
Well, Steve, they're playing exactly Mike Harris football. Meat and potatoes, rock 'em, sock 'em football. They haven't gone away from their normal strategy, even though they've never seen Glendale before.
Ball on the 12. Here's a flip to Daamen. There's a flag on the play, and Daamen is brought down inside the 10, and a late flag comes down.
Daamen carries for the Crusaders.
So we'll have to sort all of this out as the minute flag is up here at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. But certainly the Crusaders have come out very tough here tonight. And the Bears are a team, like we mentioned, who can come out early and put you away, or they're very unpredictable. If they don't put you away early, they may find it tough for themselves.
Steve, I just still can't believe that pass by Mike Page. He shocked everyone in Ivor Wynne here, throwing that ball, nice tight spiral to a wide open Mike Brady.
Well, I'll tell you something you mentioned. You said the Glendale Bears have never seen the Crusaders before or Mike Page. If I'm the Bears and I knock out the starting quarterback for the other team, I'm going to go after the next guy too. That's got to be a positive.
Certainly.
Same because I'm going to say to myself, what if Tyler Clark isn't in there for my team?
Who's the backup now?
Who do you know? You gotta know if you can knock out that number one guy at any position, it's going to be trouble. It looks like we may have a dual foul situation here because Harley McKay is explaining options to both sides, both captains.
Steve, going back to the scenario you've just built up about knocking out the first stringer on any team, even if you knock out the first stringer on any position, you still don't change your own philosophy of how you go out and give 110%. You've just got to keep going hard all game, all 48 minutes.
Here's Harley McKay to tell us what happened.
Okay. We got a crackback, number 21 on the offense, objectionable conduct, number 50 on the defense, second down.
Boy, the Bears, not a team that makes unnecessary penalties. However, that was definitely an unnecessary penalty. Just objectionable conduct against the Bears. Crackback block called against the Crusaders that time.
And coming back from the wideout position with that crackback there.
So they'll redo it. Crusaders, Page rolls out. He's got Bears all around him, and he takes a good hard lick as he gets close to the 10-yard line.
Good J.J. Hope running there. He was in trouble, and he certainly found and spun his way out of trouble to pick up positive yardage there on that run and rollout.
Got a timeout, offense.
And the Crusaders will call timeout and go over things here as Coach Harris, I'm sure, will call over Mike Page and have a few words with him as the ball is spotted at the 12-yard line, third down.
At the conclusion of the first half.
When we resume with 19 seconds to go, the Crusaders definitely, at worst case, should get a field goal out of this one.
Well, they're looking to exactly get points out of this drive. maybe a bit of a surprise drive for them. Coach Harris conferring with quarterback Mike Page on the strategy. Again, they can play it safe by running the ball and get in tight for Kowalyk, or they can go to the air, and from the 11-yard line, Page has the ability to throw in the end zone.
One of the strengths for the Glendale Bears all year long has been their inability, I guess, to take those bozo penalties. And on that last play, you could say that was a bozo penalty to take when you know you're getting a crackback block called, and then you mouth off at somebody and pick up a 10-yard objectionable conduct call.
Steve, it's just not very good positive football. Again, you're out there representing your team. You're trying to advance your team. You're trying to do the best as you can for a team. And again, and as you said, after the original penalty, which obviously was on the Assumption Crusaders, McLean's block was very blatant. You just can't commit those kind of errors. You're down in this game.
It's 3rd and 6. Crusaders scrimmage from the Bears' 12-yard line. Page in at quarterback. He calls signals. He rolls to his right, fires. Maher's open, touchdown, as the Crusaders make it look easy with their second-string quarterback. And again, you look down on the field, Clint, and you see the Bears defenders who are standing still and virtually moping about.
Watch it here. Mike Page, simple textbook football, following the playbook, rolling out there, semi-roll, pats the ball a couple times. Joe Maher getting in behind the coverage, something you don't want to see when you're inside the 10-yard line. And Maher, just a simple textbook playbook touchdown.
On 3rd and 6, a pretty decent call as Coach Harris called the timeout to give that information to Page, who comes right back in and is playing like a veteran QB for Coach Harris. Here's Kowalyk, the extra point. He gives it a little extra that time, that's for sure. It's up and good, and your score with 14 seconds to go here in the first half, the Assumption Crusaders 20, the Glendale Bears 7. Good.
Have to be shocked at the way the Crusaders have come out this evening. They have come to win the GHAC championship, and now Glendale is in a position where they're fighting from behind now.
Well, the Bears will have to get performances, and they'll look to several guys on offense. You can't win if you don't score points. And after a very impressive debut on offense when Anthony Lane ran a long gainer in for a score, the Bears have done nothing since.
They've completed one pass and a big 65-yard run in the third play of the game offensively, Steve. But we've really yet to see exactly what the Glendale Bears really can do. They haven't had the ball. Mike Harris playing ground ball, chew up the clock, and he is just running up the time of possession clock. And again, Glendale doesn't really have an opportunity to do anything. And again, they've committed a couple mistakes, which have not helped them certainly at all.
Kickoff for the Crusaders.
Bears giving a lot of room up front if the Crusaders ever want to try a short kickoff. This time Kowalyk gets a good one away, and it's bobbled back there by the Bears. Now Redmond starts out with it. He has some running room, and he's on his way. He could be on his way, Clint, for a major score. No one there. It's Jeff Brown for the Bears. And he's in, and a flag comes down late. But that will be called against the Crusaders as we talk about bozo penalties. That certainly was one. And a big letdown there by the Crusaders. And it didn't take Jeff Brown long to capitalize. After the bobbled reception, he picks it up and scampers close to 80 yards for a major score.
You said it, the letdown, the end of the half. It all is going to be is the end of the half. Watch the blocking up front and the smart, intelligent running by Brown. Drops the ball, may have confused the defense coming down. Good block originally there. The
unnecessary roughness, number 71. Assumption.
The wedge has been built there for Brown, and Brown, after he gets by midfield, says sayonara to everybody.
And there's the cheap hit there at the end of that play, but it was an outstanding run by Jeff Brown, and that's going to lift these Bears with no time remaining on the clock. There you see them on the side. They're very excited.
They were probably at their lowest moment of this ball game after Maher caught that touchdown pass. But going into this, at least to end off the first half and going into the second half, they couldn't have had anything better happen for them.
Jeff Brown, the 5'11", 175-pounder, really motored his way down the field that time. And I'll tell you, Coach Bruno of the Mac Marauders, he penciled this guy in for us as a guy to watch for before tonight's game. As there you see an injured player for the Crusaders getting some attention down there.
That could be Maher.
No excuse, though, for the Crusaders. As some of them, it looks like it could be Daamen, actually, Clint. It is Ron Daaman. So both teams hampered by injuries here.
Well, Steve, you got to look at it from another angle as well, too. Remember, this being the first GHAC Bowl ever. No team in Halton and no team in Hamilton have ever played this long. So this is an extra week of football. Again, I mean, they've been going at it hot and heavy since the beginning of September, taking their bumps and bruises. And again, some of these guys, like the running backs, they're getting hit 100 times a game.
There's Coach Turek, and again, he's got that pencil propped up there, ready to do some work on it, I'm sure at halftime. But he's got to be a little happier about things here as his Bears trail 20-13 as Daamen leaves the field. All that will be left is the extra point attempt by Bill Godfrey, one of the premier kickers in the area.
Well, Steve, as I said earlier, and I'll have to repeat it again, the Bears at the lowest point of maybe the season after that Assumption touchdown, as it looked like the Crusaders offensively could do anything.
Well, I would disagree with you.
Well, I think they looked about as down as I've ever seen them. And then this touchdown really gets them fired up once again.
Godfrey, as the snap was low, and it is blocked. A low snap was bobbled, and it was Clark couldn't really get it down, and that will bring to a close the first half.
I think Derek Fawcett may be down as well, too, for the Assumption Crusaders.
Well, I'll tell you, Clint, we have a setup here for the second half because Clark, Godfrey, a couple of the Crusaders, they all exchange words. And the thing that I like to see here is there you see out at center field, you don't see it on the screen, but Harley McKay, one of the officials, talking things over with Clark as he goes off the field. I'm sure he's just saying, hey, calm down a little bit here. There's a lot of football left to be played. Don't do anything that will get you ejected from this game. It's too important. The thing I like to see, though, on both sides of the football is that both of these teams have not left their games in their league. Meaning, the Assumption Crusaders did not win the Halton final and pack it in. The Glendale Bears did not get their revenge over the Barton Barons and pack it in. Both of them have come here to play good, tough football, and this GHAC final means a lot to both teams.
Both of these teams are looking for respect. The Assumption Crusaders, defending champions, their first thing they've said all season, we don't get enough respect around the league. The Glendale Bears, everyone looked towards Barton. They say, we don't get enough respect. The win we had over Barton was lucky. Both of these teams are looking for respect. Both of these teams are looking to represent the Golden Horseshoe. We're going to have an exciting second half to see who will represent the Golden Horseshoe.
Well, what a first half we had as Tony Lane had the big run for Glendale to get them on the board first. The story from the Assumption side of the football, of course, J.J. Hope being gone, injured with that hip pointer, and Mike Page coming in and performing like a veteran.
But, Steve, for them to win this game, I think J.J. Hope has to make a return.
Think that'll happen?
We'll see.
We'll find out. Our score at halftime, the Assumption Crusaders, the Halton champions, lead the Glendale Bears, the all-Hamilton champions, 20-13. We'll be back at Ivor Wynne Stadium for the second half after this timeout. Welcome back to the GHAC Bowl here at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. There's a look at the town as that camera pans in from Halton, actually, over Hamilton, and now into Ivor Wynne Stadium. Steve Foxcroft with Clint O'Neill, and you're watching CableNet Sports continuing coverage of the GHAC Bowl on CableNet Channel 23 in Halton. And again, hello to our viewers, especially tuned in Hamilton on Cable 14 tonight.
Steve, an outstanding first half of football. No doubt these two teams are among the best in the GHAC area. 20-13 for the Crusaders, but the most important asterisk we'll have to start off is J.J. Hope. How is his condition? I've seen him come out for the opening toss here to start off the second half. We don't know about his health. Will he be back in? But the Glendale Bears will receive the kickoff, courtesy of Kowalyk.
I think it will be important for Tyler Clark to get some continuity on offense. The Crusaders will kick off with a 15-yard penalty assessed because of the unnecessary roughness on the long kickoff return touchdown run. And it is Chris Carpenter.
It was Chris Carpenter that committed that foul. Kowalyk kicks off, and it's received at the 35-yard line. Running straight ahead in there and tackled up near midfield is Jeff Brown.
So the Crusaders actually do something good there, because the last time Jeff Brown touched the football, he went in for a major score. There's Coach Ed Turek of the Glendale Bears, who has led this team to a remarkable finish in this 1991 campaign.
Let's take a look at the starting offense of the Glendale Bears.
Dave Ferguson, the center, the two guards, John Lott and Shad Condon, Bill Gardner, Tim Pierce, the tackles, Chris Sheldrick and Godfrey are the ends.
They line up with three backs in the backfield, Stubbs, Brown, and Lane. And here's the quarterback, Tyler Clark, rolling out right side. He'll keep it himself down that right side. Ryan Kirk was the man that forced him out of bounds, but not before the quarterback, Clark, picks up 6 or 7 yards.
Here's the Assumption defense, how they lined up. The end, Carpenter. The tackles are Byrne and Obal. Joe Maher at the right end position. Brady, Kirk, Delville, and Gallany round out the linebacking course, of course, with Artardo. Reynolds, McLean, and Fabiani, the deep backs. That is your Assumption defense.
2nd down and 3 for the Bears, as the Bears are in the stacked eye. The quarterback, Clark, calling signals, and the Crusaders are well in over the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they were drawn off.
Well, I don't think so, although there is a flag from the referee's position, which could mean something illegal.
Procedure, number 63 in the offense, 2nd down.
John Lott, the left guard, charged with the procedure penalty. That'll put the Bears in reverse 5 yards, and again, we talk of errors and penalties in this ball game.
Well, yeah, for the Bears, really only one offensive touchdown. The other, of course, on Jeff Brown's big touchdown run off a kickoff. They have to get some continuity and flow on offense.
Clark calling signals. He'll drop back the pass. Good pressure on him. Rolling out left, waiting, throwing, and it is out of bounds.
Well, unfortunately for Glendale, the closest man to catch that football was their head coach, Ed Turek, as that was thrown well out of bounds.
Well, Clark was looking downfield, all the receivers covered, and he did the smart thing in throwing it out of bounds. 3rd down and long for the Bears.
Clark on the season rushed for 30 times for 140 yards. His longest was a 15-yarder. He ran for 6 rushing touchdowns.
So he likes running inside that 10-yard line.
3rd and 9 it will be for Tyler Clark and the Glendale Bears. Ball at the Assumption 54.
John Baldwin split out wide to the left side. Motion in the backfield as the quarterback, Clark, goes and throws down the field, and it is just tipped away in there by the safety, Chris McLean.
Well, Mark Delville got in there and really put a stick on Tyler Clark as he released the football. And you mentioned McLean got downfield to bat that ball away. Here's another look. Watch Clark as he rolls left, and for a right-handed quarterback, it's tough to throw rolling left. You got to set up. Throws on the run. There you see Delville hit him, and the ball intended for number 12, Bill Godfrey from the left-end position, was just overthrown. McLean there with good defense. 4th and 9 now, Bears.
Godfrey will drop back to punt here on 4th down. He's at his own 42. Godfrey gets a good toe into it, a driving punt. Down in there to Fabiani right side. Gets a good block and slips and falls at the 29-yard line. They may advance him to the 30.
Well, a penalty killed the drive that time for the Glendale Bears as they had to kick it away. An illegal procedure call nullified a good 1st down run by Tyler Clark and the Bears. And let's run down the offense for the Assumption Crusaders. And let's remember J.J. Hope.
He is in there as quarterback.
The tight end is Chris Carpenter, McFarland, Kirk, Byrne, Delville, Marcus Obal, and the other tight end, Mike Brady.
First and 10 for the Crusaders. One man in the backfield. That is Fawcett, and he'll get the ball. First down. Big hole up front as he charges up to the 36-yard line.
The backfield is Hope at quarterback after the first half injury. Derek Fawcett, the quick-hitting running back, fullback actually. Maher and Daamen, a dynamite pair. And the wide receiver is Mike Page, who, of course, we know can play a little quarterback as well.
Well, we'll also see number 95, Mike Fabiani, and number 20, Eric Peffin there in the backfield for the Crusaders as well. Fabiani in the front of the three-men backfield as Hope calls signals on second and short. Second man through is Maher as he pushes forward, and that big, intimidating front line defensively, led by Shad Condon, pushes Maher just short of a first down.
John Baldwin also in on the stop for Glendale. Let's look at the Glendale defense. Bill Gardner, the nose guard. The tackles, Shad Condon and John Lott. The ends are Tim Pierce, Bill Godfrey. What a linebacking core. Jeff Brown, Mike Redmond, Jason Pickup, and John Baldwin. And the defensive backfield is complemented by a quick-hitting and tough defensive threesome in Joe Stubbs, Anthony Lane, and Joel Fagerlin.
Three men sent out wide to the left side. Maher, Peth, the give, first man through, and that's Fawcett. And he picks up a first down for the Crusaders.
The hard-hitting defense of the Glendale Bears stops Fawcett. Joe Stubbs was in
for the first.
Along with number 24, Mike Redmond. Two guys who could go on and play university football out of this Glendale Bear program, but a first down achieved by the Crusaders.
Well, with the Crusaders quarterback J.J. Hope back in there, they really go back to their normal set. And I'm sure the whole entire offense is a little bit more confident in there, though Mike Page did shine while he was in there. First down and 10 for the Crusaders. Second man through. It's Maher, and he just gets close to midfield on the first down carry, and he'll have 11.
Well, we talked about in the first half as the Bears defense seemed to be walking around and watching the ball carrier run by them, and they seem to be a little more inspired here early in the second half, playing good hard football. Unfortunately, Maher equal to the task. A nice 11-yard carry by Maher. The Crusaders first and 10 from their own 54.
Crusaders once again, three men to the short side of the field as Hope gives to the first man, that's Fabiani, and he charges forward, and it takes a bunch of Glendale Bears to bring him down.
Again, John Baldwin along with Godfrey and Condon there to bring down Fabiani, who will check out as Fawcett
for the Crusaders.
will come back in along with Mike Page. Coach Harris uses a nice shuttle system there.
Really, and he's keeping everyone really, really fresh in there. Pick up on 3 yards on first down. Again, that same set. The Crusaders really not using their standard look of three men in the backfield. First man through on the dive play is Fawcett, and he has short yardage.
Jason Pickup there to trip up Fawcett, who will only gain a couple on that carry.
Fawcett for the Crusaders.
Remember, a big Glendale Bears team being handled here nicely so far by the Assumption Crusaders. The Bears have a nice average of 241 pounds on their offensive line, where the Crusaders only have one guy on their whole roster over 230.
Peth, Page, and Maher lined up wide left side. Third down and 5 for the Crusaders. Straight ahead give to Fabiani, and he'll be short of a first down as he needed to get to about the 46, and he is about at the 47 and a half.
The stop there for the Bears was made by Chris Camilleri. Camilleri with a nice arm tackle there on Mike Fabiani, who again checks out. Fawcett back in.
Well, on fourth down, you have to believe the Crusaders are going for it. They've been successful on short yardage all evening, and they're now in Glendale territory. They'd like to keep the drive alive. 5:55 remaining in the third quarter. The Crusaders up 20-13 here. Fourth down and 2. Three men in the backfield. Hope calling signals. First man is Fawcett, pushes right up to the 45-yard line, and that will be an Assumption first down.
Kicks will move for the Crusaders.
First down.
Nothing the Bears could do there, as the front linemen for the Crusaders have been performing well all season and all night tonight. 5:40 now remaining here in the third quarter. The Crusaders into Bear territory at the 45-yard line. They lead at 20-13.
Take a note there. Andrew Lawson is in there at that left end position, replacing Chris Carpenter. Page will go out to that left side. First down and 10 for the Crusaders. Second man through is Maher, and a bunch of Bears stack him up, but he leans forward for a couple more yards, and he'll get about 4 yards on that first down carry.
Maher for the Crusaders, dropped down by
the
Jason
Bears
Kickoff.
6-2 coming into this GHAC final. Again, a loss in their opening game of the season seemed to put them out of championship contention. 21-5. They lost to the McNabb Lions in their opening game. Here they trail the Assumption Crusaders 20-13. And another loss on the last game of the regular season, 42-7 against the tough Barton Barons, seem to have the Bears out of it.
2nd and 6. Hope may go to the air out of this formation, but he gives straight ahead to Fawcett. They've kept it on the ground for short yardage, and it'll be 3rd and about 5 when we resume.
Many Bears in on the stop, that time including Gardner, as well as Camilleri's got a nose in there as well. We talked about the Bears, their 2 losses. Many people thought they were out of it, but they were definitely one of the strong teams in the Hamilton Loop. Playoff victories over Westdale Barton, and then the all-city final, a 41-14 shellacking of the Cardinal Newman Cardinals, who came out of the tough Catholic League here in Hamilton.
3rd and 3, and there's Maher off tackle, pushing forward. Look at the leg presence there as he drives forward for another Assumption first down. This drive has been all on the ground for the Crusaders, and they are now getting close to that 30-yard line of the Glendale Bears.
Well, we talked about the importance of Joe Maher to Coach Harris and his lineup. He can put his name in ink at the beginning of the year and not have to worry about it. He's in there all season long, every snap of the football for Coach Harris. There's Coach Turek on the side, looking a little more concerned now at the chain of events so far here tonight.
Eric Peth, the lone man in the backfield on first down and 10. Hope rolling out, pressure on him, gets away, throwing the ball downfield, and it is incomplete. Flags on the play, though.
Yeah, that'll be a legal lineman downfield, I think, for the Crusaders. As
well,
there's a lot
Ryan Kirk, I don't know what he's doing down at the 15-yard line.
I'm sure that's what the call will be. But for the Bears, unfortunate that you have Hope rolling out and you never get a good stick on him. Hope very elusive. You know he's hurt. You know he's reeling. And if he rolls out, if you have the opportunity, you gotta get some padding into him.
Certainly, but Hope, the elusive quarterback as he's been all season, gets away from another one.
Here's Harvey
Legal
McKay.
receiver, number 63 downfield. First down repeated.
And, of course, it was Steve McFarland along with Ryan Kirk and several others. They finger McFarland being downfield. Here's another look. The Bears never get a hit on Hope, though, as he releases the football just in time. There you see the official making the call there. That's one of the easiest ones to make.
Well, Steve, we talked of critical errors. The Assumption Crusaders down in the shadows of the 30-yard line have the ball now backed up to the 44-yard line, taking them out of field goal position.
1st and 20 now, Crusaders.
Hope, Freeman in the backfield, faking the pitch and gives to Fabiani. He's on the left side to the 30, 25, and he is wrestled out at the 20-yard line. He is wrestled out in there by William Godfrey. The misdirection play as the quarterback Hope had everyone going right side. Joel Fagerland also in there on the tackle.
Let's watch it. Fabiani on 1st and 20. Boy, if you're a Glendale Bear fan, you don't like to see that. And it was actually Joel Fagerland, the grade 13, 5'11", 160-pound product out of Glendale, who had to come over to push Fabiani into touch. An outstanding run, and that has been where the Crusaders have been successful all year. On 1st and long, they've executed.
First down and 10 from the 20. Hope pitches out right side to Peth. He's got a block in there from Maher. Peth slips and falls at the 17.
have carried for the Crusaders.
Where he'll pick up about 3 yards and it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Well, I'll tell you who was responsible for tripping up Peth, and that was Joe Stubbs. Came in from the left halfback position. It was Joe Stubbs, a grade 12 product over there at Glendale, who actually had the first look at Peth and slowed him down just enough to limit the gain to only 2 yards.
They'll give him 2 and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Fabiani, Peth, and Maher in the backfield. Now Page splits out long, wide, short side of the field, and look, the misdirection play, but they were waiting for it this time as Fabiani was wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage.
That'll bring up 3rd down after the loss of 3 on the play. 3rd and 10 as there you see Fabiani trot off. Well, the Crusaders certainly a different team after the overtime loss to the White Oaks Wildcats. They were on a mission after that. They're only the 2nd team ever out of Burlington to capture 2 Halton championships. The Aldershot Lions in 80 and 81.
3rd and 11. Hope drops back to pass. He's got pressure. Throwing into the end zone. Touch. Oh! Mike Page had the ball in his hands for a touchdown. And the ball just falls out. There are flags on the play, though.
Well, Anthony Lane there defensively for the Bears, making an excellent defensive play to turn away the Crusaders. Let's have another look while the officials sort out the call, which will go against Assumption.
Oh, boy. J.J. Hope puts the ball right in the hands of Mike Page.
Legal receiver, number 63 downfield. It's declined. 4th down.
So the Bales.
McFarland once again downfield.
McFarland nailed 2nd time tonight with being downfield on the pass play.
J.J. Hope obviously in pain. He was drilled after that pass.
Well, we talked about it. The Bears, anytime they can get a shot at Hope, they're going to have to do it. And I'll tell you, Mike Page, he got a mouthful of Ivor Wynne Stadium goalpost as well as he hit that foam padding that surrounds the goalpost. Kowalyk on to try a 26-yarder.
Might even call it the 27.
Yeah, sure.
Long count for the Crusaders. Snap is good. Page puts it down. Kowalyk up and through. From 27 yards out, Kowalyk increases the Assumption lead to 10 as they lead 23 to 13.
So our score here in the GHAC Bowl, as you may hear it on the public address system from Dave Foxcroft, the Assumption Crusaders lead at 23 to 13 over the Glendale Bears. But again, at least this gives us an opportunity to again see the Glendale Bears offense, who has not been on the field too much tonight.
Well, a good drive there for the Assumption Crusaders, and I'm sure Coach Harris is very happy that this drive even netted some points after the big long penalty they received. They picked up another 1st down and then clunked it into reverse.
Turning point of the season for the Glendale Bears, talking to Coach Turek before the game, a 42-7 loss to the Barton Barons in the final game of the Tier 1 season seemed to get the Bears on the right track psychologically. Since then, Glendale won the league semifinal over Westdale, the final over the Barons, a big comeback victory, and the All-Hamilton title over the Cardinal Newman Cardinals.
Nathan Gallany will do the kicking off here, and he drives this one deep. It goes real deep in there, and receiving the punt is Joe Scolio. Arch actually changed that. That is John Baldwin. He makes some moves and gets up to the 35-yard line, where the Glendale Bears will have good field position.
Looked like Mike Brady and Derek Fawcett in on the stop, but the Bears will have good field position starting out from their own 35-yard line. Now it's very important for Tyler Clark to click here and get some offense going for the Bears as we're under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. You're watching the GHAC Bowl on CCTV, Channel 23 in Halton, CableNet Sports. Steve Foxcroft with Flynn O'Neill at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. And you may be tuned in on Cable 14 out of Hamilton. We welcome those viewers.
Eli Bishop checks in for the Assumption Crusader defense. Clark deliberately looking over that line of scrimmage, calling signals, and he will roll out, looking for a block, gets around the linebacker Attardo, and it's the safety
And the Crusaders will be dinged with a late hit, I believe. And that's the easiest way to move the sticks.
It might be charged to that safety who forced the quarterback Clark out of bounds, that being number 21, Chris McLean.
Here's referee
Unnecessary
McKay.
roughness, number 72 on the defense, first down.
Actually, that was Eli Bishop who came over and gave Clark an extra shot. We have an injured Crusader on the play. There's Bishop pleading his case. He didn't really necessarily agree with the officiating crew on that one. However, big break for the Bears as that will move the ball up to their own 52-yard line where they will start out again 1st and 10.
33 seconds remaining in the third quarter as it's Steve McFarland, I believe, down on the field as the assumption attendants look towards McFarland to see what exactly his problem is.
For the Bears, they may have to start to think about going to the aerial attack. And if they do, we will have to keep our eyes on number 12, Bill Godfrey, who leads the team in scoring coming into this game. He has 10 receptions for 255 yards. As there you see the Bear cheerleaders getting the fans cranked up.
25.5 yards per catch average. Unbelievable.
3 touchdowns through the air, and he picked up 9 first downs this season.
Clark looks over the defense, and he will give in there to Lane, and Lane tries to turn the corner, and he is wrapped up by the middle into, and there is an unnecessary penalty. Well after the play, Anthony Lane takes a look at Mark Delville, the middle linebacker, and just gives him the boots.
Ryan Kirk goes there to make the initial stop. Here's Harley McKay with the call.
Number 33 on the offense, objectionable conduct, second down.
What's off-lens?
Off-lens, but it's charged with Chris Sheldrick, but I don't believe it was 33 at all in there. They got charged with that. Let's take a look,
take another look, and we'll find out exactly who it was.
Watch what 21 does to 59.
Here's the end of the play. Whoa, the big Flip Wilson there. And then if you continue on, I believe there was an extra little ball in the face movement there. But definitely some extracurricular stuff.
Clark with trouble. Pressure all over him. Still receiving time. Throwing down the field. Tipped and almost caught in there. Up at midfield. Clark certainly in trouble. Looking for anyone to throw the ball to.
Looking for Lane. Goes in.
And he's looking for Lane down the field. Anthony Lane. Let's take a look at it.
Let's watch Clark buy time, and let's watch him duck out of the hit of the year maybe. There's the Crusaders. He ducks out. If you believe it, folks, he didn't even get hit on that play. Anthony Lane went up for the ball. Tip drill falls incomplete, and Lane...
What a fabulous job by Tyler Clark to escape the pressure he was feeling. And if not for a magnificent play in there by Chris McLean, that pass is caught. An injured Crusader down the field.
With that play, that'll bring to a close the third quarter here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. 12 minutes to go. We'll be back to decide it. The Crusaders lead at 23-13. We're back. Fourth quarter just underway. Here's Clint O'Neill.
Clark dropping back, throwing into that flat area. And he is clocked in there. The reception was made by John Baldwin, but Mike Fabiani put the lace right into his back.
Baldwin makes the catch
John
for the Bears.
Baldwin made an excellent reception there. The grade 13, he's a big kid at 6'1", 170. Here's another look, and Fabiani drills him. What a timing play that was, but Baldwin, all the credit goes to him for holding on to the ball. Baldwin, 4 catches this year for 77 yards and 20-yard average. A 45-yarder was his longest. He caught one for a touchdown. He caught 3 of his 4 for first downs.
Tyler Clark really hangs out his Baldwin there with that pass.
Fourth
down, and the Bears will punt, or at least they'll fake the punt and throw down the field, and it's tipped and almost caught in there. The reception was almost made in there by Anthony Lane, and Chuck Attardo stayed right with him.
Well, Charles Attardo and Anthony Lane both had equal opportunity to catch this fake punt. They fired out. Attardo and Lane both had equal chances at it. None of them can come up with it, but that favors Attardo and the Assumption Crusaders with 11:11 to go here in the GHAC Bowl. Regulation, of course. The Crusaders lead at 23-13. Pope still in at quarterback, and they have the football at the Bears' 54-yard line.
Crusaders will go back to their standard three-back offense, and maybe this is where they'll go back to textbook Assumption offense, and that is exactly what we see there out of Derek Fawcett as he goes ahead and straight ahead right up the gut for a first down. Good blocking from Byrne.
Well, let's watch Fawcett as he has been a very effective runner for Coach Harris tonight. And there you see him shedding tacklers as he breaks it right up the gut of the Bears defense, and he's very close to a first down. In fact, so close, we'll have a measurement.
You have got to credit the Assumption Crusaders offensive line. They are badly outsized against the defensive line, who are huge in Pierce, Lott, Gardner, Condon, and Godfrey for the Glendale Bears, and at this point, they are winning the battle in the trenches.
First down Crusaders, as you momentarily saw Coach Turek on the sideline. He's got a lot of paperwork in that binder he's carrying around, and he'll have to pull out all the stops here as time now beginning to become a factor against Glendale.
You got a sensing there from the Assumption fans that they're feeling something here. Here's Hope, misdirection to Maher, off tackle, down to the 35.
Maher will have 9 yards on the carry.
Maher carries for the Crusaders.
And the Bears defense, we talked about them being a bend but don't break defense. Remember, the opening possession for the Crusaders, over 7 minutes, where the Bears bend but did not break and eventually recovered a fumble that led to their first touchdown. It's good to see that turnovers actually haven't been too big of a factor here tonight.
2nd and 2 as Hope stands at the 35. Again, the first man is Fawcett, and he charges up into the 28-yard line of the Glendale Bears.
Well, all the Crusaders wanted to do on that carry was get the first down and move the chains and keep the clock rolling. We're now into single digits. And actually, Glendale is going to call a timeout. Timeout Glendale with 9:49 to go here in regulation time in the GHAC Bowl. From Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton, Steve Foxcroft with Clint O'Neill.
With 9:49 remaining and the Assumption Crusaders perhaps knocking at the door for more points, a touchdown really may seal it.
A good opportunity for us to thank the coaching staffs of both schools.
Oh, the wave is going.
Coach Turek now brings all of his troops over. He wants to talk to all of them over there on the sideline, but thanks to the coaching staffs of both schools for providing us with all the information here tonight. For Glendale, they did an outstanding job giving us stats and depth charts and lineups and rosters and so on. And, of course, Coach Harris for the Assumption Crusaders. Folks in Hamilton, you don't know this, but in Burlington Oakville, we do a television game of high school sports each week, if you can believe it. And we have built up quite a following, I guess you could say. The kids enjoy seeing their high school sports on TV.
First down and 10. First man through is Fabiani. He's got a hole. Rolls, spins, up to the 25, up to the 20-yard line.
Well, Mike Fabiani, many players in Halton have compared him to a Christian Okoye. He's that type of runner, and the Glendale Bears are getting a dose of the Fabiani Fawcett, the two F's, as there you see them, and Fabiani with the spin. And it took 4 or 5 Bears to bring him down.
At this point now, the Glendale Bears defense may be a little desperate. They may be looking to create turnovers. They may be looking to strip the ball out of the hands of Fawcett, Fabiani, Maher, and Daamen. They are now down to the 20-yard line where it's 2nd down and 2. Pitch out wide. That's Peth. Blocker in front of him. He gets the first down and a little bit more up to the 16-yard line.
Jason Pickup in there to get the first hands on the Peth. And there you see Coach Harris, always intense, and he's talking into his jacket again, Clint.
He's got some kind of two-way communication, and we've got to see if that's legal. The Crusaders now at the 16-yard line. Once again, Fawcett checks out. Fabiani checks back in. Sean Byrne leading his offensive line. Here's Fabiani. He's crawling like a baby down to the 12-yard line. And he's always getting positive yardage. You've got to appreciate what Mike Fabiani, and remember, he's a second-string running back in this set.
There you see, I think, some of the people that Coach Harris is talking to in that jacket of his. For some reason, it connects him right up to the press box area here high atop Ivor Wynne Stadium. What a program the Assumption Crusaders have built in 9 short years. In 1982, they begun their football program, and they have won 3 Halton championships.
3 men again stacked in the backfield. Hope gives to Maher. Maher picks up another first down, or at least he drives very, very close to it. It'll depend on the spot.
Kevin Taylor in there. Grade 12 student over at Glendale, 5'10", 180 pounds. A solid kid was there to stop Maher. 2 solid guys meeting up there. And again, close to a first down. The officials want to take a look at this one a little closer. Football players, parents, and coaches, how about this one? It's Canadian College night. And what this is different programs send their head coaches, etc., to a location for a sort of a get-together. The one that's closest to our area is happening at the Chimo Hotel Wednesday, December 4th in Mississauga, Ontario. Here's some of the programs who are going to be there, and you're invited to meet the coaches. Larry Haler, coach of Western, Rich Newbrow of Laurier, Bishops, Acadia, UBC, Manitoba, McGill, Concordia, Ottawa, Toronto. They've already confirmed to be there.
3rd and short. The give is to Maher, and he charges in for a touchdown. Joe Maher on 3rd down picks up 6 yards and adds 6 points to the scoreboard for the Crusaders.
Let's take another look at this touchdown score from Joe Maher. We talked about how valuable he is to these Assumption Crusaders. And now they lead at 29-13, and there you see the Assumption fans who are into it. They are excited.
There you see a shot of J.J. Hope being almost assisted off there by his center, Sean Byrne, and they're beginning to feel it now, Steve.
Well, this is a great thing. You cannot get any more than this. This is as far as you can go in football in our area, and the Crusaders well on their way to hoist the first ever GHAC pennant.
Snap is up. The kick is through and good. And the Assumption Crusaders making this one look like a rout now at 30-13.
Well, I'll tell you, I guess the worst thing that could have happened to the Glendale Bears is earlier this week on our Halton Sports Week show, I picked them to win the GHAC final.
And as Bubba's Bets has been all season, again, another victory. Well, it's not over yet, though. 7:34 yet though to remain, and we've seen stranger things in football.
We certainly have. However, in this case here, Tyler Clark and the Jeff Brown, Anthony Lane, Joe Stubbs, they haven't had anything started, really. The Glendale offense has been one play.
This is what I'm about to state, Steve, is the fact that the Assumption offense has been on the field for such a long period of time. If we actually did keep track of the time of possession tonight, it would be astronomical how much they've been in favor this evening. Short kickoff to the 30. Straight ahead in there is Mike Redmond, and he is met by a host of Assumption Crusaders led by number 89, Mike Brady.
There's J.J. Hope, Clint. He's sending you a message. He says, we're number 1. And he just may be that with 7:29 to go.
12 years, Andy Lawson. That was a good 12 years, buddy.
There you see.
There's
a Hope, 12 years.
12 years he's played football with Andrew Lawson throughout the BMFA and now the Halton champions 2 times over, the Assumption Crusaders. And you know there's a deep feeling between those two guys. They've grown up together. Shotgun formation for Clark as the offense of the Bears has to get going now. Backing up, throwing the screen pass. It's caught in there by Lane. Lane actually will change that. That's Brown. And Brown gets up to the 47-yard line.
Well, let's watch the athletic move by Tyler Clark here. He releases that ball going backwards off his back foot. A very tough ball to throw in any instance there. You can't, that's all arm. You can't get nothing on that using body movement. And a 7-yard pickup for the Glendale Bears on that play.
If anyone knows about that, that's you, the next quarterback yourself. 3 men still in the backfield for the Bears, and again Clark will go to the air. Backpedaling, no pressure on him. Throwing over the middle, and it's caught in there. And dropped perhaps.
Incomplete.
The intended receiver in there was Anthony Lane, and as he went down, he might have just dropped the ball.
Well, let's take another look at it. Lane has caught 4 balls this year for 52 yards, a 13-yard average. Let's watch Clark looking very calm back there now. Maybe too little, too late. And that ball was definitely trapped by Lane.
6:31 remaining in the 4th period. The clock begins now to roll down in favor of the Crusaders as they're looking for the big 0-0. But 4 yards, keeping the Glendale Bears from another first down as they're looking to put some points on the board. Shotgun formation from Clark. Backpedaling. Lots of time. Throwing long. And it is caught. Oh! Again! The pass was delivered right into the hands of number... We'll actually have to change that.
Clark's pass intended for Brown.
That was the Brown, Jeff Brown, coming out of the backfield. And he had the ball delivered to him beautifully.
Here's Clark again. And Chris McLean ran a little interference there. And I believe that might have been Fabiani.
That's Tom Reynolds back there as well.
Yeah, Reynolds. So, but McLean, a little interference intended for Brown. McLean actually may have tipped the ball. However, it was dropped. 4th down now coming up.
3 receivers on the field. It's 4th down. Do or die for Tyler Clark. He's rushed from Galoni. He gets away from Galani. McFarland's on him. Throwing. Incomplete. William Godfrey was the intended receiver, and the ball went in and out of his hands. Now the Assumption offense will come back on the field.
And let's see who we see at the quarterback position. Let's take another look at Tyler Clark as he buys time, gets away from Galani. That guy changes names quicker than people at the citizenship office. Intended for Godfrey, who led the team in receptions this year with 10 balls caught, 3 of them for touchdowns. They couldn't connect that time. Turnover on downs. Crusaders take over at the 47-yard line of Glendale. And it is Page back in at quarterback.
Page into quarterback as the Crusaders are subbing in some extras now. The give straight ahead, right up the gut. And that's all the Crusaders have done successfully all evening. Glenn Dilworth is now the wide receiver for the Assumption Crusaders as again Mike Harris feels victory and begins to get the second stringers in.
Yeah, but second string on this team is a
pretty good
that's
team.
A pretty good team, I'll tell you. And there's another look at Delville. There he is, and Hope enjoying themselves on the sidelines. They can definitely smell a GHAC championship.
Page gives off tackle to Maher, and he rolls forward for what may be close to another first down. Actually, he'll be about a couple yards short.
I think the Bears really have played a better second half, though, if you ask me. None of them are standing still on defense anymore. Unfortunately, it may be a better football team here in the Assumption Crusaders, who are
I really think it's come down to that. You have to give credit to that offensive line and the defensive line of the Assumption Crusaders. Outsized, but the techniques have worked effectively for them. Fabiani going straight ahead for another Assumption first down. But back to the line play, the defensive line, and that was the talk in the papers, in the Spectator, the Post, the Hamilton Spectator, the size of the Glendale Bears team and how much they outsized the Crusader team. We even talked about it, and that would be the key for the offensive line and see how they do.
Here's Harley McKay with the
Objectional conduct, number 12 in the defense. Objectional conduct, number 12 in the defense. 2 of them.
Well, I'll tell you what Godfrey did there was a little cheap shot, and it wasn't much, that maybe, and he's taken off now. But with Godfrey, in the regular season or earlier in this game, he wouldn't have been called for that. But the officials are not going to let things get out of hand here. He gave Fabiani a little push as he was getting up. Then he mouthed off at the referee. So they ain't going to take none of that. He could be done for the night.
Crusaders down at the 12-yard line, and Maher will push it up to the 7 of the Glendale Bears as the Crusaders, with 4 minutes remaining in the season, are looking to put a little more icing on the cake.
Let's not discount this Glendale program, though. Remember their history. They were Hamilton Interscholastic Athletic Council champions in 82, 83, 86, 90, and of course in 1991 they were runners-up in 68, 70, 87, and 88. What a fine tradition over at Glendale, and Coach Turek has done an excellent job with them this season. They have no reason to hang their heads.
Pitch out wide to Peth. He's at the 10, he's at the 5, and he goes down to the 2-yard line.
Good running by Peth that time as he tried the right side, and it just gets him a little closer. Let's take another look. Just a simple flip out to Peth. The sweep play, which the Crusaders are famous for. Peth with a good decision to cut it up there. He gets ever closer to the goal line. There's a look at some of the Bears on the sideline. Certainly things haven't gone their way or the way they had hoped for, but no reason to hang your heads, boys. What an excellent year you've had. And you beat the Barton Barons.
Certainly. Now the question arises, how would Assumption would have done? But now Fawcett drives forward for another touchdown.
Touchdown, Crusaders.
Let's take another look at the scoring march here of the Crusaders. Well, Fawcett, we've seen this all night long, so this is really nothing different. However, it ends up with 6 points being awarded to the Crusaders, and they now lead at 36-13 with just under 3 minutes to go.
The Assumption fans are really having a good old party time over in the stands as Paul Morosin now tries to kick an extra point up. Whoa, and just barely through, but there is a flag attack on the field now. Let's see what this is all about.
Looks like it's going to go against Glendale. Too many men on the field against Glendale will be the call. So I'm sure the Crusaders will just take that one on the kickoff, on the ensuing kickoff.
Good word. For Coach Ed Turek, he has to be really confused. What happened tonight?
Well, I think what happened is a combination of things. The Crusaders use ball control to eventually wear down here.
Legal substitution, number 10 on the defense, White on the convert, or the kickoff.
13.
Harley McKay having a little problems at times tonight, telling us what's shaking. He is a veteran OUAA official, though, and certainly knows his stuff. For the Bears, I think the Crusaders just sort of boa constricted them to death, squeezed the life out of them slowly, and eventually the team concept of the Assumption, the Flip Wilson running and aerial attack took its toll. Glendale had
legal substitution on the convert, number 10. The convert was good.
Glendale had one real play from scrimmage, and that was the big run by Tony Lane for the major score. Other than that, they could not get going. Credit the Assumption defense. You have to do that, I suppose. But for Glendale, just couldn't get things together tonight, even though they had the early lead. And let's not discredit their football program, though. Definitely champions. However, on the other side of the ball, the Assumption Crusaders, we've seen it all year long on CableNet. They are a team to be reckoned with, and it's good to see them become GHAC football champions. First ever GHAC football champions. What a job Coach Harris has done over the years, and certainly this group of kids, probably the finest and most hardworking. I think he'll be sure to tell us that. Probably the most hardworking batch he's ever had.
There's no doubt about that. I can go back to a couple other championship teams that the Crusaders have fielded.
Mike Brady.
That is actually Andrew Lawson. Kickoff there by Galoni. More names than, what'd you say, Steve?
More names than the citizenship office.
The ball returned in there by the Glendale Bears, and we'll say goodbye to Steve Foxcroft as he'll go down to the field with 2:39 remaining to go talk to our most valuable player of the game. And we'll tell you exactly who that is when Steve is down there. For the Glendale Bears, again, what a season they've had as they look to wrap things up in the best way they can now as they'll scrimmage from their own 19-yard line. From the shotgun position, Tyler Clark will look over the defense, and he'll have 3 wideouts on the field. Flag on the play. Clark with a lot of time, stepping forward, throwing long, and it is batted away in there by Chris McLean on a beautiful defensive play there. He had the chance at the pick, and the ball in turn was almost caught in there by Chris Sheldick. Assumption only rushing 3 men at this point, everyone else dropping back. And a good ball in there thrown by Tyler Clark. But with so many defensive backs back there, it's going to be tough.
Offside, number 22 in the offense. It's declined. Second down.
It's going to be tough for Tyler Clark to complete passes, especially down deep in his own end zone. Second down and 10. Even at this point in the game well within hand at 37-13. Coach Harris always coaching. Shotgun again for Clark. 4 wide receivers. Lots of time. Now he feels the pressure. Clark takes off. Gets up to the 25. Skips over a tackler. Backtracks to the 25. And he is nailed in there by a host of Assumption Crusaders. Led in there by number 70, Martin McQueen. Flags on the play. Let's see what this penalty is all about. And again, there you see some of the athletic skills of a Tyler Clark, dancing and prancing, looking for as much yardage as he can get.
Coaches and spotters, please return your radios.
Push from the rear. Number 12 in the offense. Second down.
Tyler Clark and company will have another shot at it. 2:17 remaining. Coach Harris to the point now where he's got a lot of extra players in there, really getting their first or second feel of game conditions, and again, probably their first time at Ivor Wynne turf. Got to be a good feeling for a lot of these kids. The ball backed up to the 10-yard line of the Bears on second down. 1 man in the backfield, 3 receivers. Clark stepping into his end zone, throwing a bomb downfield. There's a pass interference on the play as the intended receiver was Anthony Lane. Let's see if we can catch that pass interference. Watch deep downfield. And it might be that little trailing hand there on number 45, Tony Egger. Let's get the call from the official.
Forward pass interference, number 45 on the defense, first down.
Tony Egger called on that pass interference play. It'll be first down and 10 for the Glendale Bears, as the ball will advance all the way up to the 25-yard line. Tyler Clark looking to advance his team down the field. They're really desperately looking for another touchdown to really lighten up the spirits of the Glendale Bears now as they're down 37-13. Again, 4 wide receivers on the field. The back split out as wideouts as Clark takes the low snap, stepping at the 10. Airs this one out down the field, and it is tipped. And it is almost caught in there. Almost a beautiful athletic catch in there by Anthony Lane. The ball bobbled up there and hung up there forever, but Lane can't come down with the catch. Let's take a look at the hands this ball passes through, folks. Tipped once, tip, and then once again it was Chris McLean who had the original tip and can't hold on to the ball for the interception. Nonetheless, Coach Harris looking like it's about 90 degrees as he's sweating. But folks, Fans telling me that it's the Gatorade he's been dumped with already with 2 minutes remaining. But as you see Coach Harris there with that concerned look on his face, always coaching. He knows that a lot of these players that are on the field now are going to be his first stringers next year. Second down for Clark and the Glendale Bears. Taking the snap. Pressure on him. Rolling out left. Stepping up. Letting one fly. And it is tipped away in there on a beautiful defensive play by Chris Needham. Needham, a good opportunity there at an interception, but bats the ball away. And it'll be third down for Glendale. Let's take a look at this one. Assumption really executing the prevent defense well here in the late going of the fourth quarter. And you've got to really admire the way Tyler Clark really throws that ball down the field. He must have tossed that one 40 to 45 yards down the field. Third and 10 from the 25. Low snap, takes it right off the turf. Again, Clark rolling out left side. This time he'll take off. Dances to the 35, gets a good block to the 40, to the 50, midfield into Assumption territory, and he's hit out of bounds at the Assumption 46-yard line. Flags on the play.
For a pickup of 40 yards, flag down on the play.
What an excellent play in here by Tyler Clark. Tucks the ball away, decides he's going to run, gets a good block up front, rambles down the field. And there's a flag on the play. There's a flag being thrown there, and we're going to have to see what this one's all about. Early indication is that it is against the Crusaders.
Clipping, number 24 on the offense, first down.
We'll change that. Clipping charge.
Waste the call against the Bears after first down was
Clipping
gained.
charge to the Glendale Bears
First down,
there.
Bears. 1:32 remaining.
But it'll still be first down, courtesy of the run there by Tyler Clark, as the clipping was after he had picked up the first down. 3 wide receivers on the left side of Tyler Clark. It's the running back in there. That is Jeff Brown as he rambles ahead on an excellent run in there after the reception.
Clark pitches out to Brown, picks up a Bears first down.
Take a look once again at the play as Jeff Brown decides to run after the long pitch out pass, if you'd like to call it that. It's a basic long handoff there from Clark to Brown. Again, you've got to wonder now, Coach Harris still with that very concerned look on his face. This one certainly in the books with 1:03 remaining. Tyler Clark, 5 receivers on the field now, throwing, and it is low as the intended receiver was William Godfrey. And really that may be the first bad pass Tyler Clark has thrown all evening. A reminder that Steve Foxcroft is down on field level. He'll take you to the celebrations on the field. The actual first celebration for the GHAC Bowl. We'll be down there on the field with Steve Foxcroft to talk to the MVP, the Fox 40 CableNet Player of the Game. From the Assumption 52. Clark looks, throws, caught. Stubbs turning upfield from the 50. And he might have gained only about 1 or 2 after he made that reception as he leaned forward.
Clark's pass is hauled in by Stubbs.
Here's just a long pass in there up to Stubbs, and Stubbs will pick up about 5-6 yards on the reception. And it's third down and 4. 40 seconds remaining. 40 seconds just isn't long enough for Coach Harris. He wants this one over. Once again from the shotgun. Clark calling signals. fakes the handoff, and he'll roll out. A lot of room as he uses the option play in there. Putting his head down in there was Joe Stubbs, and he'll have a Glendale first down.
First down, Bears.
Fresh set of troops coming there for the Assumption Crusaders. And with 14 seconds left, this may be the last play of the game. First down, Glendale. They'll look perhaps to go to the end zone, so we might get a couple plays out of the last 14 seconds of the ball game.
All fans are reminded, please stay off the playing field immediately following.
With the clock ticking down now, this will be the last play of the game. The fans begin to celebrate. From the shotgun, Tyler Clark calling signals. All receivers on the field left side. Clark stepping up, throwing into the end zone, and it is caught in there. It's caught down to the 2-yard line, but it's too late. The Assumption Crusaders run on the field. They've gone as far as you can go. They are the 1991 Golden Horseshoe Athletic Champions with a big 37-13 victory over the Glendale Bears. And for the Assumption Crusaders and coach Mike Harris, this must be his finest moment. 3 championships of the Halton variety in the last 7 years, and now this is his finest moment. They are not only the best team in Halton, but the best team in the Golden Horseshoe area.
Trophy presentations will be made by
the fans. They have supported this Assumption Crusader team all year, and you see them pointing towards the crowd. Their fans, they really celebrate this one with them as well, too. The Assumption Crusaders had to be considered as a little bit of underdogs going into this game against some of the bigger kids from Hamilton. And let's not take anything away from the Glendale Bears as they stand at midfield waiting to shake hands. And they're all going over now to celebrate this victory with the Glendale Bears. And once again, we've said it before, but the Glendale Bears have nothing to hang their heads out. What a fine season the Bears had as well, too. Upsetting a team in this in the Hamilton area, which a lot felt were the best team in Canada in the the Barton team. And they, after being thumped by them in the end of the season, regular season finale, and came back to defeat them in the playoffs in what was considered one of the hugest upsets in this area. And they've gotten themselves all the way to the GHAC final by getting over Cardinal Newman. The Crusaders getting here courtesy of a 17-0 victory over Oakville Trafalgar right here at Ivor Wynne. You saw that game here on CableNet as the game of the week. And once again, we'll say hi to our Hamilton friends at Cable 14. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast of the first annual Golden Horseshoe Athletic Football Final. We'll be going down to the field with Steve Foxcroft with the awards presentation, and again, a chat with our Fox 40 player of the game, Derek Fawcett. There you see Coach Harris in there as well, shaking hands with all the Glendale Bears as well too. And again, what an outstanding season we have had here on CableNet with the coverage of a game of the week. Steve Foxcroft, Don McMillan, and myself in there to call all the action. We've enjoyed it, and we hope you've enjoyed watching all the action of this fantastic season we've had here in Halton for football. And again, that being represented by one of the Halton teams, the Assumption Crusaders, winning the Golden Horseshoe Athletic title. Has to be a good feeling for the Assumption Crusaders, going 5-1 on the regular season. Their only loss, a 21-14 loss to the White Oaks Wildcats. They got by White Oaks in the semifinals, Oakville Trafalgar, and now they get by the Glendale Bears for the GHAC champions. We're going to be going down to Steve Foxcroft to talk to the Fox 40 player of the game.
Here we are at field level. Joining us momentarily will be some of the Assumption Crusaders, now GHAC champions, the first ever GHAC champions. And here's Coach Harris joining us in just a moment, probably doing the most coaching he's done all year, and that's just trying to assemble the troops. First of all, a message to some of the Crusaders. Bubba sent his congratulations from upstairs. There he is. And Bubba, they're all signaling up to you, thanking you for your support. Bubba, congratulate you guys, Coach. What a season. What can you say?
It's great, and thanks again up there, Clint, for all your support. All right, no, it's a great season. You can't say anything better. I mean, you pull off like this, and you know the old David and Goliath with the wrote in the paper. Yeah, that's about it right now.
Is that how you felt coming in? Like Glendale, the big squad, they knock off Barton, who many thought were the best in Canada. What was your feelings coming into this game against a big squad?
We knew, well, see, the whole play was the fact that they're so much bigger than us, and Hamilton's notorious for the football. I mean, that they have their best football teams and all this. And Barton is somebody saying that they're one of the best in Canada and all that. We knew what we had to do against Glendale. All we had to do is play our game, and we were able to do that.
1982, the Assumption football program started. 3 Halton champions, and now the first ever GHAC championship. People are going to say, how do you do it? Just how do you do it?
This spirit. That's what it does. All heart. It allows these guys put everything they can into it, and that's what does it. I think, yeah, you're going to win games because of skill, technique, but you're going to win the big ones because of heart and spirit.
You've won 3 titles now. Your falls for the last 9 years, you've been doing football. What are you going to do next week? You got to pack it in now. There's nowhere else for you to go.
I think I'll renew my marriage vows. I haven't seen my wife since September, so.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks for joining us, and again, congratulations.
Thanks for all your support this season, too.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. We got a few of the guys standing by. J.J. Hope, the quarterback. Tough week for you. Bit of an injury coming into this game, and Coach Harris would not let anybody know what was up. Maybe you can fill us in. Now that it's over, how did you feel this week?
I felt like a crippled person, but I didn't think I was going to play, and this guy came in when I went down. He did a hell of a job.
Wasn't he outstanding? Now, you mentioned, we heard you on the sidelines, you mentioned to one of your fellow players, 12 years of football you've played with some of these guys. 12 years, and now you're the first ever GHAC champions. Tell us about what your football career in high school has been like, and everywhere else, in the minor program as well.
It's been great, man. I grew up playing with Andy Lawson, Ryan Kirk, Mark Delville, Fabiani, all those guys. And just all those years just pay off, man. We've been together for a while. One big family.
After the touchdown in the first half you scored, you went down. What happened there?
My hip just tightened up big time. Couldn't go on.
Do you wish you could go on and maybe play a Toronto team now?
Sure, why not?
Where are we going to see J.J. Hope next year?
Wherever. Maybe Assumption.
Okay, thanks for joining us. I'll let you go to congratulate all your teammates and enjoy yourself. Yeah, you guys got someone you got to say hello to?
We'd like to say hello to Mr. Baddock. Number 1, Mr. Baddock. Number 1.
I got to talk to Mike here. He was dynamite tonight. Mike Page he was probably the shakiest guy in the joint when JJ went down. Tell us what was going through your mind when JJ went down.
I was shaking all day. I had jitters. I didn't know if I was starting or what was going on. No one was saying anything. We didn't know how JJ was going to be or anything. So I just waited, and JJ went down. So I went in, collected myself, and did the best I could. O-line played incredible. We couldn't have done anything with the O-line.
Yeah, didn't they though? We said that they were really blasting off the football. Yeah. Dynamite.
We heard about how big Glendale was, but our O-line just destroyed them. Just blew them off the ball.
Their front 3 averaged like well over 200 pounds, and your O-line handled them pretty decently.
It was great. Couldn't believe it.
What happened? Who made the call? Were you actually threw the ball, I think, to Brady?
Coach Harris. Coach Harris. That's we've used that play before. Coach Harris just had the confidence in me and called it, and I dropped back to the pass.
Super. Outstanding effort here tonight, and congratulations to yourself.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, we got some more guys here we got to get on. Joe Maher, outstanding season for the Assumption Crusaders. We talked about on the show is at the beginning of the year, Coach Harris puts your name into the lineup in ink because he knows that you're going to play every down practically for the Assumption Crusaders. Tell us how you feel winning and being part of this championship.
Great, it's great. I love it, and hopefully, even though I might not be back next year, I just wish the team best of luck. It's a great feeling, and I hope everybody on the team that maybe didn't get a chance to play or whatever can experience it next year.
Okay, congratulations to you. We'll let you go and celebrate with the team. And we got some more guys here. Where's Fawcett at? I need Fawcett. Here you are. Derek Fawcett, who you know the age-old expression, right? Saving the best for last? Yeah. Well, we named you our player of the game here tonight. Anyone else? Do you think maybe the offensive line helped you out tonight?
Yeah, it should be the line that gets the players of the game, because without the line, just the blocking was great.
Outstanding season for you guys. Tell us how it felt. Say after the White Oaks loss in overtime, what did you guys say to yourself?
I wasn't sure after the White Oaks loss if we could pull back together, but we practiced hard, and I knew that we could, after we beat Georgetown the next week, I knew that we were going to go all the way without a loss.
Tough season for you guys, ups and downs, highs and lows and everything, but you were a big part of this, and it must make you feel good to be a part of it. And any last shots before you get on the bus?
That's about it, I guess.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Eli, come on in here. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Let's you tell us the story here. Number 72, Clint. You gotta check it out. There's a story here. Give us this story.
No, they just mixed up the numbers. Like, it's my first year playing ball, and beginning of the year I never got the real shirt because I was late coming to the season. So they mixed up the numbers, so no one knew who I was the whole year.
And
so.
who were we calling y'all year?
Sean Burns.
Okay, and the real name? Let's have the real name.
Mike Boyle.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. There's the story. And on tonight's roster, we got you down.
Eli Bishop.
Eli Bishop. So there you go.
The credit for me. Eli, come in here.
And there's the real Eli right there. So that's the story from Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. We'll have one more guy, Ron Daaman. Come over here if you can, if you can spare a minute. You look like you're on your last legs here. What's happened to you tonight?
Well, late in the first half, on that kickoff, they scored a touchdown. I kind of got my foot caught in the turf and went the wrong way and screwed up my knee for the rest of the game.
Rest of the year, too, actually.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. It's all over now.
First year at Assumption, how did it feel?
Well, they come together as a team. It's a beautiful team to play for. Number one all the way.
How does it feel winning the first ever Golden Horseshoe Athletic Conference Championship?
Feels, I don't know, but it feels about as good as winning a Super Bowl, I guess. That's about it.
Sounds good. Where to next year for you?
I don't know yet. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, congratulations again. We'll let you go. Fine effort. Final guy before we go, Eric Path standing by. Eric, dynamite performance here today. How does it feel?
I have no words to explain it.
Okay, no words, then there you go.
We're the best. We're number one.
Number one.
Nobody believed us. Nobody gave us any respect all year. They got to give us respect now. There's no way they can't.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good way to sum everything up, I think. You want to keep going? Okay, he's had enough. He's had enough, he says. Fine way to sum it up, though, for the Assumption Crusaders. They can't go any further. They're Golden Horseshoe Athletic Conference champions, and what a lot of fun you guys were for Clint and I all year long. It was fun covering you guys, and again, from Clint and myself, congratulations. And they're asking me now who has the loudest fans, and I would have to say the Assumption Crusaders. That's the story from Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. Again, for the Glendale Bears, a fine performance. They're a tough football program over there. A lot of history at Glendale. They couldn't hack it tonight, though. The Assumption Crusaders dust them off 37-13 for the first ever Golden Horseshoe Athletic Conference Championship. For all of us here at CableNet Sports in Halton, our director has been Brad Scott. For Clint O'Neill, I'm Steve Foxcroft. A special salute and good night to the folks at Cable 14 and the Hamilton viewers. For all of us here at Ivor Wynne, the Assumption Crusaders win the GHAC final, defeating the Glendale Bears 37-13, the final score. I'm Steve Foxcroft. Have a sporting week. We'll see you next time.